You ever just close Discord on muscle memory and then remember, oh shit, I actually need it for this particular stream? Because I just did that. Okay, here we are again. Today's the day. Today's the day I get angry. Really, really. It's not actually going to be like that. I'm going to be very calm about it. I'm not going to get over the top. I just quite literally have been sick for 2.5 weeks, so I don't really have the energy to get over the top about it. Actually, I don't think it's been 2.5. Has it been 2.5? No, I think it's closer to just 2 at this point. I'm pretty much over it, but I don't know that I have the energy or the yelling capacity to get really over the top about this. So we're just going to look at what makes me angry in a very calm, gentle manner. I'm going to sit Final Fantasy XIV down, ask it what the fuck is wrong with it and why it's so stupid in a calm manner, and then we'll move on. Okay, but we got a couple of minutes left before we start, so we'll wait out the clock and then we'll get started. I wonder if these boots match up in terms of the leather. I didn't really think about it when I made them. I was kind of just like, yeah, you know, the buckles match up with the buckles on the sleeves, so that's all good to go. I didn't really think about, well, you know, the coat is kind of its own type of fabric, whereas the boots might be a completely separate type of fabric. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter now. I'm not going to change it now. The look is complete. Why fix what ain't broken? Why fix what might be broken that I can ignore? Cameraman, I'm ready for my close-up. Accidentally hit my mouse wheel while getting ready to log in. That's okay. All right, today, as I said a few minutes ago, is the day. The game has already made some grave errors in terms of story perspective since we got to Raktika, and it will somehow manage to do even worse than the previous two things combined today, as far as I'm concerned. So, if you enjoy this game, and you don't think there are very many problems with it, you will learn something today. If you enjoy this game, don't think there are very many problems with it, and don't like it when other people talk shit about it, just save yourself the hassle. There's the door. Go ahead. You can leave. I won't hold it against you. It's fine. I would rather that you save yourself the emotional heartache. To the rest of you who are choosing to stick it out with me, welcome to the jungle. It quite literally gets worse here every day. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, the stream edition. Last time we entered the Raktika Greatwood, and we found out two things that are pissing me off already. One is that the game created conflict in a... See, I'm looking for a word that's the opposite of organic, but also angrier at the same time, and I can't find it. Like, synthetic is too much of a euphemism. It's too scientific. I need a word that's the opposite of organic that's also pissed off at the fact that it's the opposite of organic. But that is what they did with the conflict that they created in the game, that they are now holding against the player since we got here, thanks to the light ether that we have. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we saw a tribe of people who have lived in this forest for hundreds of years discard their entire religious doctrine for quite literally no good reason. As a matter of fact, it was a reason that every single writer around the world should be collectively facepalming at because it's so fucking stupid that it makes no goddamn sense. And today, as I said, it will somehow get worse. So let's just get this over with, shall we? Somehow Confucius stepping on the table is going to be the silver lining of today's episode. Well, that makes sense. The Children of the Everlasting Dark are pretty good with their spider poisons, so... Well, we don't need healing incantations. We need an antitoxin, which I'm sure they have plenty of back in that cave, because, you know, they work with the spiders on a daily basis. So if they don't have antitoxin, then that doesn't make sense. You don't need to find a cure, Urianje. There's antitoxins. Again, this is how poisons work. If the children don't have an antitoxin, that doesn't make sense either. Like, how do you think poisons work, man? You don't just administer or cure it. Like, you don't staunch a broken leg with flu medicine, Urianje. Okay? You need to cure the broken leg. Stop trying to cure poison with something that doesn't cure poison. I'll go cook something if I have to. I'm literally cooking non-poisonous food for a poison tomorrow right now. I can fix this. I promise. Hello, Marie. How you doing? Welcome back. Nice disclaimer. Yeah, I know. High praise, by the way. Need all my VODs starting from the last one to finish writing your thoughts on this X-Pack. I need hyperlinks. I need to look at this section again. By all means, feel free. The archives are up on YouTube as much as you need. Take as much time as you want so you can voice your thoughts. This will act as a solid reference point, I think, because we feel very similarly about this, so. Well, the young guard fareth poorly, because y'all don't know how to cure poisons. You look for an antitoxin. And again, they would have it, because there are still living... Okay, so the only way that I can think that this would be plausible is if the bees that we put in the cave killed every last spider in existence that has this form of venom that they used as a reagent for this poison. We would have had to have created an extinction level event for an antitoxin to no longer exist. And that doesn't make any sense, because from an ecological standpoint, it shouldn't be happening because that would make us the bad guys. And there was no indication from the story that... Again, the point here is that they don't want you to question like I am doing. I will continue to question it. Don't get me wrong. But they don't want you to question this. They just want you to roll with this because they're creating conflicts that they don't want to think about because they didn't think about it when they made it. So he's going to die. Might be too late for this particular man for the antitoxin. No, that's incorrect, Runar. That is not true. Every single poison that they create comes from those venomous spiders in the cave. That's why we threw the bees in there, because those were the source of their poisons. That means you can create an antitoxin from that spider's poison that will literally act as a cure-all. It'll catch everything, okay? It will catch every poison that they have because it's a root cause of it. This is bullshit, and you know it. So stop feeding me bullshit, and let's work on this like actual people will, or move on. Well, that makes sense. So... Well, yeah, okay, so you guys are going to answer with, no, we're never going to join you, and that makes sense. I mean, you'd be discarding your entire religious doctrine to join them. So that means you'll join us and make a pilgrimage east, right? No one's asking you to do that. You just need to come with us, take all the NPCs in town, make Slitherbow empty. We'll go to the other Aetheryte. I know the Ronkins, the Guardians are over there. We just got to convince them that another army's trying to murder all of us, and I'm sure they'll see sense. Yeah, and so do you, Runar. That's what I'm saying. All of you can flee with us. Okay, so how would you mind to take the offensive here, Stola? Because that might be a new way of doing things. Yes, roll of threes. Stola is the last new job. She has switched, quote unquote, from being a conjurer to a sorceress. And I say switched in quotes because she still has access to curative magic. That's important, by the way. Remember that. That's a special tool to let us call this game's bullshit later. Later today, even. Okay, so we have a set amount of time. We have a set amount of time before they come back, because apparently they're just going to fuck off to who knows where. And we can kill the Light Warden before they get back. Fair enough. Okay. Sure, I'm down for that. This is an alternative to the plan that I was going to say. I was hoping for a big old field trip, but this works. The more you point out that everyone with magic knows how to heal, the more everything falls apart. Oh, believe me, it will. Later today, it will. When we get to the part of the story that this game finally lost me and never got me back, it will. Alright then, let's do this for the Knights Blessed then. And for everybody else that Yulmor's killed over the 20 or so years that they've been in the thrall of the Light Wardens. I suppose we could do it for everybody before that too, because, you know, potentially there were innocents that died in fighting the Light Wardens. He's like, very well, I guess we'll stay here. So, what's the first part of this offensive? Need to find a seal. Okay. Ooh, a complex of underwater ruins. I'm down for that. I have the blessing of water. I can breathe down there forever like a blitzball player. Actually, I think blitzball players don't have, like, the blessing of water. If I remember my Final Fantasy X correctly, they're trained to just, like, not have to breathe for a really long time. So, like, Tidus and Waka and them can hold their breath for nigh on 30 minutes underwater or something ridiculous like that. Like, completely outside of human biology, but it's a fantasy game, so, you know. Gotta go to the bottom of Lake Tusimekta. Alright. Why are we shoring up their defenses? They're leaving with us. If they don't leave with us, that's just stupid. Why would we leave them in the line of fire of Yulmor? These are innocent people we're talking about, Thancred. Yulmor seems to think we're the villains, but we're not the villains because we allow innocent people to die. What the fuck is wrong with all of you? You chose option 3. Yulmor sucks. Also, Marie toughed it out and only has 10 fates left in Collusive, or she finishes shared fates and Shadowbringers. Nice. That's a lot of work, so I don't envy her that. But I'm glad that she's almost done. Alright, Male Moogle. I know you followed me here. You need to take my advice and get the fuck out of here now. Just go to the east, okay? Unless the Ixmayans can see Moogles, you'll be safe. Just head east before you get poisoned, and then I have to take over your job, because I am really too busy saving the world right now to keep delivering mail. I'm sorry, I know that's blasphemy, but that's how it is. Also, before we move along, I have this glamour plate for a reason, so I'm damn well gonna use it. There. Now I'm ready for an underwater expedition. Confucius has got about 5 minutes left, and then he'll be sick of this bullshit already, so I can't say I blame him. Not like we'll be fighting anything on the way through, though, so it's fine. Maybe I should have done this on Ninja so I could, like, hide from all the things on the way there. Question for you, Square Enix. Do you think that it's appropriate for the story to be having these twists and turns that you currently have it taking, and then we just walk back out into the field and all we hear is Lahi? Like, that's tonally inconsistent with the way that the story's currently moving. Why don't you just overwrite the overworld music with the tense music that you had back in Slitherbow just now? You're perfectly capable of having it be in Slitherbow, so that means you can, in fact, overwrite the music. Why not just do it out here, too? Oh, wait, that would require effort. Never mind. I'm going to get most of my bitching out of the way today, by the way. We won't have reason to bitch again after this, or we won't have much reason to bitch after this until the music loses me, and that's like patch 5.3, so. We will have reason to bitch, just not as badly as today. Okay, well, I'm ready to go for a dive, so. A locking mechanism, okay. I do like this part, though. I like most of the things that they do in Raktika with the Ronkins and how they have, like, puzzle boxes for everything. Like, that's cool. So, I'll give it the silver lining where it needs it, because it definitely needs it here in order for something to be salvageable in this goddamn zone. So, certain animals were sacred. Okay, so snakes, Coerls, Colibri, Opo, and wolf. Alright, I need to turn on live chat so I can remember this. Excuse me. This is an easier way to remember it, by the way. If you don't have a live chat filter like I do, you can just click on the event tab down here in this, and it will tell you the previous lines of dialogue. So, for example, here she talks about the snake being the foremost in their pantheon, and then below that she talks about the Coral, Colibri, Opo, and wolf. So if you forget, just take a look at your event chat, and it'll tell you. Okay, so I gotta find 3 beasts in a specific sequence. Okay. Give praise to the snake, so that's easy. Do the snake first. Be as the Opo, rival thy kin. As all parts seek betterment, so too does the whole. Be as the wolf, move as one. Peace comes to all who seek harmony with their kin. Okay. Okay, we'll see what I can do. But it sounds like we need to have a little chat with the snake, the Opo, and the wolf. In that order? In that order, yes. So off we go. Well, the water isn't as crystal clear as it was back in the Ruby Sea, but it's kind of hard to get that in a place with a radioactive sun, so yeah, we'll work with what we've got. Looks like I need to work with what I've got right now, because it's a dead end, so I guess I'll go under. Yeah, it's just more of a freshwater lake, that's all. A little siltier than the others, but that's okay. Alright, so we're looking for... It looks like what we're looking for is even further down, so probably down here in this crevice we'll find something. Let's see. And if we turn around... Ah! A gate that we can swing through. The covered halls of Dewado. Yeah, so this is the part that I enjoy in Raktika, is the part where you get to explore in the Ronkin ruins. That's cool. A statue of a snake. This first one, they don't give you a choice. This is the only statue, as far as I'm aware, that is in this area that you can... Or no, actually, what they do is instead of forcing you to, like, remember something in the correct order, like a game should do, they just have you go to each objective in order. Rather than forcing the player to think at all, they just send you to each one. Here you go. This one you do have to think a little bit because you have to remember, oh no, it's not the Coral statue, it's the Opo statue. Basically, what they should be doing here is they should be having you swim around and explore the entire area where the Ronkin ruins are. They should have a circle on the map around the whole ruins. All the statues are lit up, and you just have to press them in the order that Y'shtola told you in order to move on. But they don't do that, so... I'm asking for too much again. I will not stop asking for too much, but I'm gonna say when I'm asking for too much. I'm gonna make sure I denote it. I sure hope that I don't get attacked by something down here. I don't want my book to get wet. I guess You could go back up here to Ishtola on the map where the blue exclamation point is if you don't remember what you're supposed to do. But again, just save yourself the trouble. Just look at your event chat. It's far easier. It's nice down here for me though, because as a fisher, I can kind of get to see what the lay of the land is here for in terms of the stuff that I can spearfish for. Speaking of which, okay, so there is some spearfishing opportunities down here. All right, cool. I wasn't sure. I didn't see anything on the map, but that was because I wasn't on Fisher, so, you know. This last one wouldn't happen to be in this log, now would it? No, but I'm gonna swim through it anyway. I might get a Korok seed if I do. No, that's a different game. That's a game where I definitely won't be collecting all of those collectibles either. So, I don't even remember how many Korok seeds there are now that I think about it. Probably a fairly significant amount. Because from what I understand, they're quite literally everywhere on the world map in Breath of the Wild. Oh, well, found the chamber. This one's really submerged. Holy crap. Now, is this an actual door? It is an actual door. Cool. And what do we see in here but the wolf statue that we need? I'm not even going to bother looking in the other ones because this is the one that we need right here. I think if I recall correctly, you have to remember this order for later as well. I think they do this again in another quest further into the east section of this area. So, well, let's go see if the seal's open. Oh, look, a lookout point. Is it a lookout point? Well, only one way to find out. Yep. Add that to the sightseeing log. Cool. Maybe now, once the light gets, deleted out of this place for half of the day, people will actually come here and sightsee the ancient ruins of Ronka. Might have a few budding new adventurers that'll show up as a result of it. It'll give the kids something to do, you know, once the Sin Eaters are completely destroyed forever and never come back. We all know that didn't happen, though, so, you know, I should probably just stop. I should probably just stop trying, but that is not a good enough excuse for me. It is not okay to stop trying. Any holes in the wall here? Maybe. Yes, this one's not buried. Good. So this is where the serpent statue was originally, if I recall correctly, and it looks like the little section that was behind it is now open. And at this little oh yeah, I should demonstrate the thing that I was talking about on the stream before. So if you have depth perception problems underwater, like I do sometimes, click on your target, focus target it, and then press the auto move button. And it will move you directly into the point where you can interact with the item. So now if I click on it, I'm exactly where I need to be to interact with it, so you won't get an error message that says you're too far away. So yeah, if you need a little anything to help you with underwater stuff, there you go. Secure it inside what clothing? Don't answer that, viewers. We have the seal. That's the important part. We are now recognized by the Ronkan Empire, I think. Maybe. Only one way to find out. Let's get back up on Lake Tuximecta. Tuximeta was about what I was about to say. That wouldn't be quite right. And let Ishtola know we got what we need. That was weird. I guess I could have been, like, you know, flying around or floating around on Mizuko in there. But I felt like swimming for myself. It's fine. She'll have plenty of chance to swim around in here once we're done ridding the planet of radioactivity. I think I have what we need. The Seal of Ronka. Okay, so there's also an owl in their pantheon of animals. Okay, cool. Sweet. That was easy. It's a good thing I had the blessing of water, or that would have been a lot more difficult. We would have had to invent rebreathers. Okay, so like, what do you think? We're gonna put it in some pedestal or something, and the seal will be broken! Okay. I guess they're gonna open up the seal to the outside of the village, so that's cool. I'll just teleport back. I don't feel like trying to fight a vampire vine in my not really underwear, but as close as you can get to underwear without, you know, actually being in your underwear. So let's switch back to the good old tried and true, shall we? There we go. And do I need to mend anything? I don't think so. Incidentally, why are you all still here? You're coming with us, right? Like to the east, so that you aren't in direct line of the Yulmorans when they come to attack you, so that can create even more conflict in the story that's synthetic but angrier. Right? God damn it. Yeah, so in case it wasn't clear by my lack of enthusiasm, all of the residents of Slitherbow, including Runar, and all the other ones that we've gotten to know and love over the course of the past few minutes, are all going to stay in Slitherbow despite the imminent danger of the Yulmorans coming. Yeah, Quinfucius, that's about right. I'm pretty well sick of them already as well, and it's only been 20 minutes since I started. Yeah, so they're all going to stay there and get completely destroyed by the Yulmoran army because that creates conflict. And it's like, no, that literally makes no sense. You're artificially inflating the conflict. It's a conflagration. That's not true. Actually, I'm mixing that up with the word conflate, which is basically they're creating conflict for no good reason, to say it that way. Yeah, I guess it wouldn't have been there if, you know, they needed the aid, so. Well, fair enough. I probably should have talked to Thancred and Minfilia as well, since I bothered talking to Rian J. Okay, good. And Runar and all the rest of them are coming with us, right? Yeah, I figured. That's what my map says. Okay. But this time, yeah, we have the seal, so they should let all of us in, including the Slitherbowans. Okay, sure. So should I go back and get the townspeople, or... That's it, huh? That's really it. You were the leader. You were practically the mayor of Slitherbow for how long at this point, Ishtola? Like 3 years? And you're just gonna leave them. You're just gonna leave them in direct line of a conflict that they have no part of, that we are bringing to their doorstep because the Yulmorans want us, and you're just gonna fuck off into the forest. Never mind, I don't like Ishtola anymore. She's being stupid. I would never do something this stupid. If the Domans were in the direct line of an actual, like, conflict that depended on me getting them out of there, and there was potentially a dangerous second option, which is, okay, so the Slitherbowans, if they went this way, would be in danger, because the Ixmayans might be like, okay, so we're gonna kill a few of them. But the alternative is that they die to the Yulmorans, who will not hesitate to most definitely kill them. With the Ixmayans, at least they have a chance because we have the Ronkin seal. But the Yulmorans will not spare them that fate. They will either kill them or turn them into Sin Eaters. And neither of these things are acceptable outcomes for people that we just met, but Ishtola has known for years. So why are we leaving them there? Also, we should follow the radioactive flowers because that's how we get into Ixmaya. So, there you go. You'll forgive me if I completely ignore Gizmaluke's grotto this time. Absolutely. Didn't like it when he blinded me in Final Fantasy IX either. I don't know if these ones blind you, though, now that I think about it, which would make the reference to Gizmaluke's grotto completely pointless, like most other references they make at this point. I'm going to be blistering with all of my commentary today, by the way. I hope it doesn't bother anybody. Arrows! Okay. It's a good thing they missed. That was a warning shot.
It would seem we have found them.
I'll say. So how do we tell them we have the seal? Do we hold it up in the air? Do we throw it to them? Thancred, we're gonna need your baseball arm again. Actually, about that. Thancred, why didn't you just put up Heart of Light? It would have blocked the arrows too. Why are we fighting them? Why wouldn't we just be like, hey, so we have the seal. Hello?
Wait, we did not come to.
Just say we have the seal, Stola. You don't need to mince, actually no, that's not true. You definitely need to mince words with them. Say we have the seal. Yeah, that's true. Heart of Light is specifically for magic damage, so you are correct. I guess he could give us all Heart of Stone or something, depending on who's being attacked. Did we really need that? Just say we have the seal! Okay, thank you.
Sister, is that... We are allies of the Empire of Ronka. As is customary, we come bearing the seal of the Emperor.
So now, your plan is to lie to them. Your plan is to lie to these people. Okay, you know what? That's fine. We'll just tell them when we get to the village. Was that supposed to be funny?
It appears to be genuine.
Are they using the Hildebrand assets on non-Hildebrand things?
There's yet hope.
Hope for what,
Perhaps.
exactly? Heart of Corundum, never mind, she actually pulled out the seal. Yeah, I don't think that Thancred would have Heart of Corundum at this point, right? Isn't it an upgrade for and that's Endwalker specific? It's like, it's in the 80s, I don't remember when, because I've never played Gunbreaker above 80, so.
Follow the assured flowers to our village. There we will judge if you are friend or foe.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Try not to stray from the path. All right?
Yeah, I suppose that would result in us dying to all the wildlife, so thanks for the advice. Alright, so it's fine. We'll just tell them that we found the seal when we got there, and the alternative to coming here was death, which we definitely allowed a whole bunch of townspeople to do. So. Is it you have Gunbreaker Leg 81 you thought you had it? I don't think Cole has it at the moment. I guess it could be a Shadowbringers specific thing, but I don't think Cole has it at the moment. He's only at 76 on Gunbreaker, though, so I suppose it could be earlier. I don't know. I don't play Gunbreaker, so I'm probably not the best judge. But I thought it was from Endwalker, so I don't know. I'd have to look it up. And I don't have Gunbreaker on this character, so I wouldn't be able to look it up unless I looked it up on the internet, so, you know. You'd log in, but you almost want to make popcorn for the fireworks show later. No, that is probably a better use of your time, actually, yeah. You're talking to somebody who really enjoys his popcorn, so yeah, I would say that's a better use of your time. How good these things are looking directly at me. So, follow the azure flowers. They also lead off into the village, or not into the village, into the forest, potentially to someone's death here, so maybe you should have been more specific. Maybe you should have grown different colored flowers so that no one got confused between the red train and the blue train. Blue deer stag. I don't think those ever show up on the culling log. I don't remember ever seeing one of these things. Huh. Well, it's a naturally occurring thing, so I suppose that's part of why you wouldn't see it. So, yeah, it's the Amazon village, because the Vera were introduced in this X-Pack, so this... I mean, I kind of am okay with this specifically. I feel like there should be more than just the one village, but whatever, it's fine. Wasn't expecting reception that positive. Yeah, they didn't even shoot me on the way in. That's fun. I mean, we do wear strange clothing, that's for sure. Yeah, I was worried about that split in the path. My friends might already be losing their way. Yeah, why not Namu? Sag. Now, they had to give the other races of Ivalice a chance to shine, I suppose. We already got a Moogle village, so... Now all we need is a village of Urutan Yensas. But there's no... Well, okay, so there's Amarang, but there's no sand sea in Amarang, so... Although there is that divide between Nabatharang and the rest of the place, so maybe that would be considered like a sand river. You never know. We don't see any Arutanyensas, though, which makes me a little sad. Oh, the positive reception of the idea of making popcorn. Yeah, I love popcorn. It's like if Superman, instead of Superman getting weakened by kryptonite, he just couldn't stop eating kryptonite. That would be me with popcorn. So, not really a good metaphor, but that's the idea. Straight to the point. I see a woman after my own heart. Here's the seal. They made it out of gold. Man, it's not a wonder they went out of business. They tanked their economy by using their gold on stupid shit like that. Or they, not went out of business, but went, the empire died, so. Thank you. When do we tell you that we're not allies of Ronka and we just found that at the bottom of a lake because the alternative was death? Well, yeah, I would imagine the Ronkins kind of spent 3,000 years not communicating with you at all, so, How so? Well, thank you for the hospitality. I feel bad taking your hospitality, considering we still haven't told you the truth, but, Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Yours is butterless. You're trying to eat better, damn it. There you go. You can always put a little honey on it as well. Be closer to caramel corn then, but, well, it wouldn't be as bad for you. And when I mean a little honey, I mean just a little. Like enough to be a condiment, basically. Not enough to overpower the flavor. So, you didn't go with your Amazon sisters. What are you up to? My name is Jimmy. Nice to meet you. No, it's actually not a common name. As far as I'm aware, no one else is named that. Not in this game, anyway. They might be named James or Jim or Jimmy, but not Jimmy. Alright, off we go. Cole has crashed through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man. Yeah, Jimothy's another one that's not really a common name. You ready to go into Cole? Gonna log into the last of your fates, then steal your brain for the Endwalker shared fate grind because they chose to recycle something that wasn't fun. Good. Fantastic. Great. Love it. Cole's ready for the call. Let's bring him in. Oh, hi.
Hello. I'm logging in as we speak.
Okay. I just got to the village, so I'm like 2 quests ahead of you.
It's okay. I have the power of skip cutscene.
That's true. While you're still in Slitherbow, by the way, can you see if you can round up all the villagers and tell them to head east towards Ixmaya with us? Because Ishtola decided it would be a good idea to leave them directly in the path of Yomoran soldiers, where they will most definitely die. So maybe try to round them up and get them here instead, so that they might have a chance of living. Thank you.
Cole, did you see that thing I mentioned? I mentioned to you on the server. Hang on a second.
Yeah, it's in the community chat in the server. I think there's a couple of messages below it now. But that sounds about right from what I understand of Estinian. Wah, wah. Sure, enlighten us as to what happened. See, they talk to you in this particular section like they already know that it's bullshit that you had the seal and you just found it. Like, the Ronkin Empire wouldn't need to know this. They'd already know this stuff, but this place is anything but consistent as a whole, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Like, they even say it right here. We served under the last emperor. Like, they know Ronka fell because they say the last emperor here. So
leave it up to the tribe of specifically female Vera probably hiding all of their males in sheds to be servants of the Ronkin Empire.
Well, they're not servants, they're allies to the Ronkins, which is what we are because we bear the seal. So.
Fair enough.
But we don't need to lie to them and be like, yeah, so we're allies of the Ronkin Empire. We've just waited 3,000 years to come and find you. Like, okay, Vera have good noses, okay? It was a plot point in Final Fantasy XII. I'm pretty sure Fran's sense of smell at one point allowed them to smell one of the judges coming. Vera have a good sense of smell. They should be able to smell that this is bullshit already. Yeah, maybe they should proofread that a little better. just a bit.
Unfortunate, Maria. I don't think you're going to be around for when Jimmy implodes later in the stream.
I'm not.
I feel like that's going to happen today.
I'm not planning on imploding. It will happen later today, though. I'm like 5 quests out from that instance, so. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, so I guess the Vera are more long-lived, like, kind of like the Elizin. I guess they live for a couple hundred years, maybe? Something like that. I don't remember how long they live in Ivalice. I don't know if they ever specifically say, now that I think about it, but they live longer than most people do, so. 3 of your elven lifetimes. Okay, so they can live to be about, like, 800 years old. Okay, got it. I think she heard the judge, but you don't want to do another playthrough to find that scene. You're up to like 7 runs of 12 now. I could swear Fran smelled something. Maybe it was just when she would always talk about the mist smelling really foul. Because she was almost always the first person to notice when we would go into a place where an Esper was in 12 that the mist like reeked. It was so thick, you know. So. You're up to like 7 runs of 12 now. Also, the fucking weaponless run of Golden Sun turned into torture. You might need to lift the synergy restrictions. I had a feeling eventually we were going to hit a little bit of a wall with that because it sounded like murder and torture right at the start, so. Yeah, I can imagine that would cause a few problems, yes. But now you have to deal with Sin Eaters all the time. Okay, so this is where all the Viren villages went. They, you know, disappeared because Fano's the last one in the wake of the flood. So. You're doing about 20 damage right now before Samdi. That's low as hell. Yeah, he's got like... I want to say he's got over 1,000 HP, so doing 20 damage per person, you're going to be there a while.
Jesus Christ, how long am I going to have to spend in this fucking lake?
Just get out of mount, because you can fly under there at the same speed as actual flight speed.
Fair enough.
So. See, they even kind of lampshaded here a little bit, like, and Y'shtola makes another stupid decision and says, so you think that we're the allies that you are looking for? And Yumit here is like, well, you have the seal, right? Like, and it's like, maybe at this point we should come clean with them? I mean, what's the worst that could happen? They stab us? We're all, like, level 70-something. Like, what are they going to do to us? They're, at the very best, on even ground with us. And there are more of us. Well, not more of us than their entire village, but, you know. Well, I appreciate you being so forthcoming with somebody who most definitely could have just stolen this from the bottom of a lake. And ever one to be the faithful hero, I completely am complicit with this lie and ask them for the wisdom of Ronka immediately without even thinking about it. The hero of light, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Well, we don't even know what it looks like, to be fair, but we'll know what it is when we get close enough to it, because the light ether will be, like, searing our skin, so... Minfilia, Vaughn almost got kicked in the teeth by Avira for asking that question. Maybe don't ask a woman her age. Oh, good. They even lampshade that scene by having everyone stare at her in disgust. That's a good answer. Okay, well, that's a good plan. So let's go have a talk with the villagers, and maybe they can tell us what we're looking for. See, this is a good explore the village and talk to every NPC situation. We need knowledge that
Young
one
enough
of them
to
might have.
remember.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. You must have zoned out here. You don't remember us giving ourselves away by being ignorant of what we need to know. Yeah, that's basically par for the course here, Marie, so I wouldn't be surprised if by this point your eyes glazed over because it's happened so many times in Raktika. Anyway, let's go have a chat with the villagers, huh? I'm pretty sure I hear Rory. I think I see a triple triad person over there. Oh no, that's just the person I need to talk to for the quest line. Alright, cool. Let's go have a chat with Naimet. Hello. No, that's fine. We are used to talking in cities rather than out here. Things echo out here a lot more than in the city. Okay, so it's not nearby. That's good to know, thank you. I'll keep that in mind. Because this way, if we know it's not near, that means it's got to be further into the forest, which either means southeast of here or northeast of here. Well, just generally north, really. Oh, look, another lookout point. I'm racking these sightseeing logs right up. Kind of wish I could sell them for a profit, but that's in a much better RPG, so I can't really ask that much.
Have you played this much better RPG?
Yeah, it's Skies of Arcadia.
That's what I thought. Blind Force Yikshmaja.
Ixmaya.
Ixmaya.
Yeah, the pronunciations are a little weird. Or I shouldn't say weird. Weird has a negative connotation to it. They're just a little bit different from our current pronunciations because they were going for more of like a South American Amazon forest feel to this place, from my understanding anyway. Of course, they also sampled a white woman in the lyrics of that, and I can think of a very distinct number of SJWs who would have a problem with that, so I'll leave that to them and just leave that little nugget of information out there. Oh no, it's all good. We kind of entered somewhat quietly. Oh, really? Near Raktika Falls. Okay. Well, that sounds like a Light Warden, so... Yeah, pretty much exactly like a Light Warden, so... There we go. Now, they do this thing in some of the quests in 14 where they have you gather information, and you'll talk... Basically, in other quests, they'd have you talk to everybody, and you'll get the information from one of the NPCs, but you still have to talk to everybody. Here, in this X-Pack, they have you talk to everybody, and they make a note explicitly that you have information, and you've found the information that you specifically need to know, but they still make you talk to everybody, like you've got some kind of short-term memory loss, which, yeah, fair.
I mean, with how many times we've gotten hit in the head.
Yeah, I guess so. It just makes me wonder why I didn't write the stuff down before. I guess I'm getting old.
Old.
I'm getting too old for this shit. This whole adventuring and saving the world business is a young man's game.
Why am I imagining Jimmy with a full, like, pointed goatee beard, slightly grayed hair?
I was just imagining me with Saz's afro. Okay, cool. So here's the gemstone trader we can trade with. Nothing here in particular that I want other than maybe the riding map, but... Oh, I can actually buy it right away. I have enough gemstones. I gotta save some of these, though, because when we get to the Amarang gemstone trader, there's a very specific item that I'm going to need for some extras, if you know what I mean, for certain quests that we're doing, where I'll need about 12 bicolor gemstones. It works out, though, because I'll have exactly 12 to spare if I do 6 fates in every zone in Shadowbringers, so... We'll have 0 gemstones left by the time I bought all the riding maps. Speaking of which, here's my mount speed for the area.
Imagine being able to afford mount speed. Lol. Lamau.
Yeah, I really just got sick of every time my mounts landed when I was flying around in an area, it looked like they broke their legs because of how much speed they lost. So I said, no, I'm just going to get the mount speed riding maps. It's fine. I'll take the L. I'll do the 6 fates per zone. Yeah, they do tend to do that, don't they? Probably. Well, thanks for the bright and cheery imagery. at the very least. But yeah, see, none of the other NPCs gave you information that you felt was important enough to write down. And yet, oh, hey, there's Rory. And yet you still have to talk to all of them before you go finish the quest, so. The reason why I'm pointing it out is because the game makes a habit of pointing it out. Like before, it was like, okay, well, we got the information, we still got to talk to everybody. But now the game is explicitly pointing it out. It gives you a key item, for God's sakes. Here's the key item, happenings in the Raktika Greatwood. But you still need to talk to everybody. So why go to the trouble of giving you a key item if you still have to talk to everybody? Well, actually, we did, in fact, get a little bit of information about potentially something over at Raktika Falls. I don't know. You should go have a chat with the lady over by the Culinarians, because she was the one that told me. I don't want to get her in trouble, but, you know. Do you guys not go to Raktika Falls anymore, or...? Oh, okay, yeah, I suppose that would make sense then. If there's no way to get to Raktika Falls, then yeah, it would make sense that you don't really go there. I'm guessing the Sin Eaters are the ones that drove you back, which should probably clue you in as to what's in there, but, you know. Well, Peril is basically all of our middle names at this point, so it's fine. Gotta
Rory
go to the
Peril
Katana
Pellegrin.
Yeah, Rory Peril Sass Pellegrin. So we gotta go to the Katana Ravel. Okay, so that's like the detour, basically. Got it. How do we open the seal? Okay, good. So we probably needed the seal anyway. So go to Cumulostropolis, and then we'll be good to go. Obstacles, huh? Well, if we're anything, we're problem solvers, so I'm sure we'll figure it out. Oh, well, that was kind of shitty of them. You guys should have dumped those guys years ago. Alright, then. Yeah, more puzzle solving for me, so off we go. Yeah, you really have to ask? This is the only part of Raktika I've enjoyed so far, so let's make the most of it, shall we? Alright, then. So we're going to get an escort from Amazon warriors into the deep Amazon jungles.
Jungle.
You know, I almost thought you were going to be a leader there for a second, Ishtola. I thought you were going to say, I would ask that your sisters accompany Urion J. Thancred and Minfilia back to Slitherbow so that you could pick up all the refugees that we have in store before they most definitely die to the Yomoran army, but no, you just want to keep investigating Raktika at the expense of all these people that you supposedly care for. Alright then. I'm asking too much again. I'm asking for more than the bare minimum, which is too much.
I mean, they gotta keep the party together for trusts!
Yeah, no, I know that, but
an Endwalker.
But by the time they got back from getting all the refugees, the trust would be back together. If they move now, before the Yulmorans start moving. Because by the time the instance happens in a few quests, the Yulmorans will have moved already. All the way through Slitherbow. Amid a puddle of dead or dying bodies. So, we can still save them! There's still time!
No, they gotta set up conflict!
No, I don't want you to find paths forward, Urion J. I want you to find paths backward, to Slitherbow, to help the people that we left behind. No? We're just gonna ignore them? I'm pretty sure this is how the Scions almost died last time, because we just ignored a bunch of people that needed our help. I probably am misremembering that from A Realm Reborn, but, you know. Oh, hang on, before I do this. Here.
Thanks, King.
Yeah, make it easier for both of us. Okay, so how do we get to Cumulostropolis? And can we take the warrior with the giant hammer with us? He looks like a cool guy. I like the cut of his jib.
And a beard I'm imagining old man Jimmy has.
The Morning Stars, huh? Okay, cool. Well, off they go. Alright, well, I'm sure warrior with the giant hammer will catch up. This unlocks an Ether Current quest here as well, by the way. The one there with Hymet. Suit
good.
up!
Oh, good. 40 Ether Currents.
Yeah, we'll be doing those, probably starting them and maybe finishing them in the next episode. Won't be getting to them today,
How
though.
much
So,
of a pain in the ass Raktika was?
it's not that bad.
Yet.
Yet. I mean, most of the zones, I guess you could say, are a little bit of a pain to walk around in at first, but I don't mind it too much. I like the Indiana Jones feeling of this area. You know? It feels like you're exploring an ancient temple or ruins of an ancient temple, so I'm down with that part. That's all they really needed, honestly, in this part, is just set me in front of a bunch of ancient ruins and tell me there's puzzles to solve, and I'm down. They didn't need to do all this bullshit to try to make conflict out of the story. This could have been like a vacation episode, basically, where we just went in and we found an ancient people, and they were like, we haven't been able to solve this puzzle in 3,000 years, and we were like, I got you, fam. But no, they had to make conflict. Okay, so these pyramids are the Morning Stars. And then the Great Pyramid of Uxner.
La.
Yeah, that. The pyramids themselves are the key to opening the ruins. Okay. Now let's go take a look, shall we? I hope you remember the order of the statues that you pressed back in the lake, because I'm pretty sure you have to press them in the exact same order here. If you don't, well, there's always your event chat. Were you waiting for this Ronkin Thorn to turn around?
No.
Okay.
I was staring at the strange glowing plant.
Oh. Yeah, well, I suppose that would be of interest to you, being a botanist and all. I wonder if you could use it as a light source. We might need a light source in the temple. Okay. Yeah, so we just need to probably press them in the same order as before, so... Okay, and what do you want me to... Oh, okay. So press these clay tablets against the impressions of the inscriptions that we find, and we'll get something out of it. This feels like busy work when I already know the solution, but sure, why not? I guess not everybody can be as ahead of things as I am. So yeah, anyway, we gotta go to the top of these pyramids to get each inscription. So now I just need to find the staircase. Ah, here's the first one. I hope you like jumping! Because you got to jump up every individual step because the Ronkins were giants. Wonder if there's an ether current up one of these.
Spoiler alert, I fell down.
Oh, sorry. 490 to the east, actually, is the next one. That's over by Raktika Falls.
I'm too small to get up these stairs!
Just don't break your legs on the way down.
I'll bite your legs off.
Yeah, by the time you're done jumping up all these, you're gonna feel about as angry as that guy.
I'll bite your legs off. Also, the thing that I hate about this part, it isn't actually the busy work, it's the fact that they cram enemies in this area where you're trying to run around. It's like, the enemies respawn. I do not want to fight enemies right now.
Yeah, and it's another one of those things, right? It's like, I like it when games kind of have areas where they're having you do puzzles or something like that, and they just don't have enemies in the area. Like Golden Sun did that, actually. They, in certain rooms where they had you doing big puzzles, they just had no enemy encounters in those rooms, because they wanted you to focus on the puzzle rather than on the enemies. But here, you have to take away from the puzzles. Ow. I slid down the slide. It was not a good ride. I wouldn't recommend it.
How are your kneecaps?
Ow. They're healing. Slowly. This one's behind this cracked Ronkin doll. Ah, there's Elmet, hiding somehow, despite not being a ninja. Not on the level. There we go. Well, thankfully we don't have to jump up here again after we're done with this, so that should be helpful. You know, I'll bet you. Oh, hey, we had the same idea. I think I gave you that idea after last time. Yeah. I know. I'll cast Physic.
Why do summoners even have that?
That's what I want to know, man. Like, red mages
I mean,
have
it
for
made
cure,
for a great
and it
joke
works.
I mean, it makes for great memes whenever the summoner's the last one left in raid and physicking himself between rotations.
Yeah, but it's like,
And
red mages
screaming
have
the
for
intact.
cure, and it works with their intelligence. And they've split Scholar and Summoner at this point to basically be separate classes, so, like, why even keep that? Oh, I'm going down the slide, never mind. Whee! My legs.
My leg! My
My
leg!
thighs, they're burning. I have, even though I already know the answer to the solution to the puzzle, but here you go. Have the clay tablets that you cannot see. Let's hope they're in Braille for your sake. How are you deciphering them? You can't see. They do that a lot in this area. They seem to selectively forget that Ishtola can't see. She can sense ether, but she can't see, like, actual words with her eyeballs. So unless the clay inscriptions that we got are, like, magically infused somehow, she wouldn't be able to make out the words. It's the same problem she had back in the cave by the Children of the Everlasting Dark. She's, like, trying to decipher the ruins, and it's like, okay, are you trying to decipher the magical energies surrounding it to, like, carbon date it or something? Because you're not reading the words, I know that much.
I mean, we aren't actually solving it alone, so maybe Ishtola was having somebody else read it out to her.
Yeah, I suppose she could have Almet read it to her, or us. But they do that a lot where she's like, she'll say she's doing something that very explicitly requires eyesight to do. And it's like, you can't do that. Why would you can't do that? Okay, again, question, how are you reading it? Have Almet read it instead of straining your brain to do that. Come together. See, this is what I'm talking about. She is staring directly at her hand, which has the inscriptions in it. She shouldn't be able to do this. She can't see. She's blind. Okay, again, she can sense ether, but she cannot read physical words, okay? They made a big deal out of this in Heaven's Word when she came out of the live stream and she lost her sight. I don't know why they're deciding all of a sudden to be like, okay, well, she selectively has to be the one to read. Like, let me read. I have plenty of books. Let me read. Let Almet read. I'm sure Almet can read Ancient Ronkin. She's been guarding the temples for so long. You don't have to be the one to read this. Anyway, let me read the last line. Come together, share despair. Go thy ways, dread burdens bear. Mark the crown, heed its call. Avert thy gaze, forever fall. I guess it's better than now fall. Okay, so we just got to find one of the statues and give it ether. Well, I suppose that's easier than touching 4 statues in a sequence. Oh, I'm gonna have to pick one, aren't I? So, let me read the riddle again. Come together, share despair. Go thy ways, dread burdens bear. Mark the crown, heed its call. Avert thy gaze, forever fall. So the only line here that indicates you doing something, like, positive is mark the crown, heed its call. So we need to find the one that has a crown, and if it's what I thought it would be, it's probably the snake, because the snake is the one that was above all the rest of the stuff in this entire area. Let's go take a look at the statues just to see. So we have a whole bunch of other statues. We have a coral statue. And what they want you to kind of do is they want you to kind of look at where the statues on top are pointing to, I think, in order to figure out what's what. The owl's looking that way. The colibri, it's kind of hard to tell. It's looking away from it. So that's probably the avert thy gaze forever fall, because that colibri can no longer fly. These two are looking at each other, so they're come together, share despair. Go thy ways, dread burdens bear. Heed the crown. Anyway, let's look at the serpent statue. It is, in fact, facing away from the coral statue. Let's look at the rest of them. So maybe those are avert thy gaze, forever fall, actually, is coral and serpent, because they have to walk along the ground, so. What about these? The owl's facing toward the Great Pyramid. That's probably a good sign. South to the woods. And I don't want to go after the Op on the wolf, because that's directly in between a Ronkin thorn, so let's not try to destroy any ancient technology. Seems like a bad idea. A bunch of archaeologists would be like, God damn that warrior of darkness. destroyed all of this work that could let us know anything that we need to know about the Ronkins. Even though somehow Clan Nutsy already knows enough about the Ronkins to fashion armor sets out of their stuff, so... Okay, sure. I'll pick the statue. It's the owl one. It's looking toward the pyramid. Alright, sounds like a plan. Yeah, it's the owl statue. I think. It's the only one looking towards the pyramid. All the other ones are either looking at each other or away from it, so... Plus there was an owl directly on the seal, so... Well, that was a good sign, I think.
We all didn't die, so...
Yeah, fair enough. I just used my eyeballs, which unfortunately you can't do, Ishtola, so sorry about that, but yeah, it wasn't that difficult. They make a big deal out of some of the puzzle solving you do in Shadowbringers too, because I remember them doing something similar in an instance that happens in one of the patches, where you come back here and you solve another temple puzzle, and they're like, wow, you really are good at this stuff, and it's like, how did you guys not figure this out in 2 seconds? Oh, because you want to patronize me? Okay. Who approaches? Oh, Simon. What's going on? Oh, you know that thing that I said that what shouldn't have happened if we were actual heroes and bothered taking all the people in Slitherbow with us? No, okay, so here's why we couldn't take the people of Slitherbow with us. What that would have required is that would have required the programmers of the game to move all of the NPCs that have quests in Slitherbow to a different location, and they absolutely won't do that. That's why Urian J is still in the Waking Sands right now, even though he's in the first, because he's a quest giver, so they can't move his static quest giving person out of the source, even when it makes no sense story-wise for him to be there. So the thing that I said was going to come to pass definitely did, and now it's going to bite us in the ass. This is the definition of artificial conflict, Final Fantasy XIV. I feel like that guy in Fight Club who keeps saying he can't keep getting away with this. At this point.
You keep getting away with it.
Yeah, that guy. Well, of course they did. I don't know if that's a good idea, but... Yeah, oh look, and you know what, Marie? That's not even true. It's not the consequences of our actions, it's the consequences of the actions that we were forced to take because Square Enix doesn't give a fuck. How quickly those have come back to bite us when I most definitely said this is a terrible idea at multiple points in the time since we left Slitherbow and got here. Anyway, yeah, go throw yourself at the Yomaran army. That'll do a whole lot of good.
You can kill everyone except for Ranjit. It's not his time to die in the plot yet.
That's true. Ishtola, you are a leader of people at this point, okay? You quite literally are practically the mayor of Slitherbow. You can't assume that they won't move quickly and say, oh, the Slitherbowans will be fine. We can just leave them in the direct line of an army that will most definitely kill. No! You lead these people now. You have to send them to safety rather than just assume they'll be all right. And now you're going to keep going because their health and safety is only a problem for you once we find out that they've been poisoned, which we're going to find out in like 2 or 3 quests. After we take care of the Raiders of the Lost Ark thing. Baked Mega Piranha. Well, of course it is. The Square Enix is writing it so that the time is against us. The consequences are catching up to us. All these things that we should have done as heroes, all of my friends decided not to do. And I just went along with it because agency is dead in Final Fantasy XIV by this point. They killed it with a gun. Ishimura was mad. She knew people like me would have questions, so she shot at me with a gun. I'm gonna make sure this Runkin doll doesn't kill you while I'm standing here. Oh, look, the guy with the big hammer. Barith Kairum.
Just remember, everyone. Ishimura's still a better writer than the one who wrote Stormblood. And The Realm Reborn.
Trying to think if I can argue that statement. I would probably put them all on about the same level. And by that I mean they're all bad. But, you know. At least these wood bats aren't attacking us.
Good.
Okay, so let's see what kind of ancient horrors, technological bullshit they've got trapped inside of the Great Pyramid of Uxner. What are you thinking is going to be in here?
Man-made horrors beyond our comprehension?
Well, only one way to find out. Let's go through door number 1. Drrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr They have faces on their stomachs.
You know what? I'm not gonna ask. I'm just gonna keep walking.
That's probably a good idea. Let's just keep walking. They're cockatrice palette swaps is what they are, basically. The Evilisian cockatrices specifically. They just added a little bit of plumage to the top of them. This is not the last time they'll be using a cockatrice palette swap in Shadowbringers either. And the next one is somehow more horrifying than those ones, so...
Cockatrice!
Yeah, that. Thankfully, we haven't had a situation where that's happened to us just yet. I don't even think that happened when I played Final Fantasy 1. I don't think I got stoned by a cockatrice at all. So, that's good. See these wood bats? They're good wood bats. They're passive creatures. We need more of these in Shadowbringers areas. More passive creatures that don't attack you on sight, because why the fuck would they? The Confessional of Tupasa the Elder. And the other nice thing about the wood bats in here is it actually lets you focus on the puzzle solving, so there you go. They did in fact hear me in the future, kind of.
Hallelujah.
Not that there's a huge amount of puzzle solving to do now from at this point, but you know. Maybe Tupasa locked the door before he died? Oh, okay. See, again, this is where Y'shtola shines, because she can see, quote-unquote, she can sense where ether is and what direction it's flowing in. This is why she should be here, because she can do that, whereas Almet and apparently me cannot do that. So this is why she's useful in these particular areas. I just wish that it didn't seem like the person who was writing the sections with Y'shtola. It seems like there was like two different writers. One that remembered she was blind and one that didn't. And sometimes one of them wrote the story scenarios and sometimes the other one did. And it's like, you can tell. Either that or the person who wrote this has schizophrenia. I don't know. I'm sorry, dissociative identity disorder. Schizophrenia is an old term. Well, there's an owl statue on one of them, but not on the other one. So I think we need another owl statue. Right? Okay. I haven't gone to the chamber to the east yet, so... Just watch out for Greatwood rails. Almet, if she runs headlong into one of them, just, I don't know, kill it or something.
Nuke it from orbit.
Isn't that your job?
Yeah, but we're inside of a temple. I can't nuke things from orbit.
That's true.
I want to blow the temple up.
Maybe once we get into, like, Raktika Falls proper, you can start blowing stuff up. There is a situation in the next dungeon where if the tank pole's too big, you'll have a reason to use a magic DPS LB1, so... Oh look, more aggressive creatures inside of a section where we'll need to do some puzzle solving.
Oh god, we're getting to that section.
Yes, we are.
Hey.
Oh look, another person! Man, there's a lot of people doing Raktika stuff today. That's cool. Maybe they'll end up in the dungeon.
Almost like a lot of people start with Shadowbringers because they hear that's the best expansion.
Yeah.
And they want to get to Endwalker, but they're smart.
Yeah. I feel bad for those people.
People should just start with Heaven's Ward, but nobody wants to do Stormblood.
Yeah.
Stormblood doesn't want to do Stormblood.
That's true.
If this game was entirely Heaven's Ward, Shadowbringers, and Endwalker, it would probably be a better game.
In some people's eyes, yeah, you'd probably be right. Yeah, it still looks like it's suffused with ether, so if we get it back to the other altar, we should be good to go. Well, no, it's an ancient temple with puzzle secrets, so of course it's not so simple. Yeah, so remember the statues that we walked past on the way from where Tupasa's door was? So their eyes are basically big scanners, and if you walk past them with this thing in your hand, we're going to be transporting this in a second. If you walk past the eyes looking at you with this thing in your hand, it'll explode, and you'll have to come back and get another one. So, yeah, pretty much. Thankfully, this is not a unique owl statue. There are limitless numbers of these depending on how bad you are as a player. So, or how
I
little
have taken a
attention you're paying.
screenshot.
Of what?
I'll send it to you on Discord.
Oh, okay.
Let me find my screenshots in this cursed computer.
It'd be in your documents, so.
Documents.
Yeah, it'd be in the 14 folder and be in screenshots. So. Okay, so I'll carry this to the other temple altar thingy, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, deliver it to the statue. For some reason, we only have 2 minutes to do this. I guess the ether will dissipate out of the statue if we don't do it in that much time. And enemies will, you know, make it a lot harder on you, obviously. And because you only have 2 minutes, that means that you don't have enough time to actually bother with using hide as a ninja or something. Not that you could do that anyway, because, you know, you'd drop the statue if you used hide, so. Alright, but yeah, you see how the statues have their eyes pointed in a certain direction? And then there's, of course, the Great Wood Rail that's staring directly at the path we need to go on. And there's more than one of them. Yeah, so just keep going, if possible. Yeah, go this way. Because that one's staring at the wall that way. If only Hoot was here, he could carry one of these. Oh, speaking of which, you know, Confucius could probably deliver Hoot and all them to you by using the Pillar of the Sky. Do you want me to just have him, like, do that?
God, I haven't seen Hoot in so long. Forgotten what he looks like.
No, I mean, Confucius can go get Hoot and Gigi for you, so.
Ah, my son.
Yes.
I miss Gigi.
He misses you.
My son.
Okay, we got the statue to the altar. See, that wasn't too hard. As Rory so keenly demonstrated, you can even take a little bit of damage while you're at it, and you'll still have enough time to make it here, so.
I distracted them for you.
Yes, it was a valuable distraction. So here's my thing. Okay, so let's say I'm the person editing the script of Final Fantasy XIV. I would try to look for every line that Ishtola speaks where she says the word "see," and I would just find and replace it with the word "sense," because the word "see" has connotations that she shouldn't have. Basically, just say "sense." It's so much simpler. It tells you exactly what she's all about. That she's blind, she can't see it, but she can feel that it's there with her other senses. This is not the end of the tricks and traps of this ruin. We have only just begun to trick and trap. As you'll see in a moment. How perilous are we talking? Only one way to find out. Yeah, so they had an ancient temple, so of course they're going to have an Indiana Jones sequence for you. Anyway. Well, if you don't feel like cooking the bream, you could always eat that baked mega piranha, although it's normal quality. Gives crit and spell speed, I guess. So that's the right food, but normal quality food couldn't be
Legend of the Not So Hidden Temple.
Yeah, that's Koji Fox for you.
Some of these names.
Okay, so what are we looking at here, Helmet? Okay, that makes sense. It's an ancient temple, so it would have that sort of stuff. Wards of displacement. Okay. What do you got? Whisperweeds. Okay. There you go. Here's where you get the Whisperweeds in this one. I thought they were in this X-Pack. I couldn't remember when you get them, so. These fuckers knew what they were doing when they named these fucking quests. Yeah, Koji and the translation team, they definitely took a page, I think, out of the Final Fantasy XII translation book, because Final Fantasy XII, they went very, like, in-depth with the way that they translated it to make it sound a specific way. And Koji and the rest of the 14 English translation team feels the same way. It's just that instead of making it sound like a Shakespearean tragedy, they want to make it sound like a meme most of the time. And to be fair, it works, so... Alright. And the sooner that we finish here, the sooner we can return to the others so they can tell us the kind of carnage and horror that awaited the people of Slitherbow that you left behind, Y'shtola! Anyway, here's the instance. We need to... What's it called?
Break the party?
Yeah, break the party to do this. So I guess we're going...
Alright, you go left, I'll go right.
Okay, it's a good thing there's always 2 directions in these places. So, in we go. I would say one of us should escort Y'shtola, but I guess Almut and I can do that while you go in your direction, so... Uh-oh. Already finding trouble, huh?
Oh, Rory fell down a hole.
Oh no. I do see those sentinels, yes. Oh, okay, so just... Yeah, I was gonna say, go around them. Got it. So wait for this one to move, and then... Off we go. Follow me, you two, and don't stray too far away. Or this might get a little hairy. I'm just gonna go sideways so I don't accidentally run into it. There we go. Easy. Magic knot. Let me untie this magic knot. Oop, I'm getting a call on
Am
the
I
link
glad
shell.
I'm on Black Mage?
Oh, the whisperweed rings like a link shell. Okay. That's not good attention to detail, but sure. How do you get reception on those things in here?
Very carefully, bro.
Probably because it's natural, and the, you know, Ronkins revered the natural world. Ooh. I see one. It's looking directly at us. Well, looking directly at the wall. Alright, here we go. Yeah, so we're gonna have to go in here.
I'll grab it.
I was gonna say, make way, ladies, because we're gonna need to share this space. It's fine. Let me go like this. Maybe I should run here. Nah, it's fine. We'll be fine. If they get seen, it doesn't matter. If I get seen, it's over, so. Alright, off we go. Done with shared fates for Shadowbringers. Now you need another fucking 1,400 gems for Yulmore and the Crystarium's music. Fuck you too, Square Enix. That's... I don't even know why you would do that to yourself. I'm sorry in advance. Oh, Jesus Christ! Yeah, those guys have got a big line of sight. And there's 4 of them. Oh, a glamour. Okay, cool. I'm glad you've still got that here. So sprint. Got it. 3, 2, 1, glamour. It's a long glamour spell. Oh, we have doubles. Run! Now. I'm sprinting. Go. Go, 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 go. Before the AoEs hit us. Hang on, let me hit this knot up. That should dispel them. There. Nice. Good to see that you got away unscathed. Do teleportation devices ever end well for us? It's alright, I'll be the guinea pig. How you doing on your end?
Ow!
What broke your legs this time?
A sentinel.
Oh, fun. You use a double glamour. Oh, pollen. Well, that's fun. Ah, okay, so it's like a test chamber. Welcome to the Aperture Science Museum. You like music, leave you alone. No, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean to you about it, I don't know. It feels like a lot of work. That's gonna take me out of here. Okay, so go this way, maybe? I don't want to hit the blue portals, if I recall correctly. I think I want to hit this portal up instead, before I die.
Die.
Fucker, there are triple triad cards you don't have. Stop, you're tired of spamming fates, I know. Again, I'm sorry in advance. Well, I made it. Well, it's a fine time for you to start caring now, considering you left them all at Slitherbow to die. Uh-oh. I was too busy yelling at Y'shtola, I just tripped a trap. And naturally, the trap is about to be a giant boulder. Yeah, this is Indiana Jones, all right. That boulder is gaining more speed than it should necessarily have. Shouldn't we move? Yeah. Oh, good, they give you infinite sprint for this part. And they give you cover as well. So you don't get run over by the boulder, because it's slightly faster than you are, so... You just gotta sprint in between the crevices here. Like we're fighting that one Executioner's Chariot guy back in Dark Souls 2. I remember that boss. I actually liked that boss, to be honest. It felt like an interactive experience. I know a lot of like game journalists say that, and they're like, "Oh, it's an interactive experience." No, it felt like an interactive experience, in that it wasn't you just hitting the guy till his HP fell over. You had to figure out how to hit him in order to get it to yourself to the point where you could actually damage him. So, you want to jump? Why not just move to the side? You know what? Whatever. I'm jumping. I've broken my legs before. This won't be the first time. Oh, good. I didn't break my legs. Stoller, are you okay?
There wasn't much
You're looking a little worse for wear.
spaghetti. It was either that or alcohol.
Oh, I hope so. Oh, Whisperweed call. How are they too
boulders?
How are they too fast for you? You're quite literally the only thing you do is hunt. You should be faster than anyone. He's plot armor incarnate, so that's why. Again, it seems like a weird time for you to start carrying Y'shtola, considering you just left dozens of people and so they're about to die. But okay. Let's just run at a brisk pace. Oh, look, another door.
You get in the old ow.
Well, only one way to find out what's in here. Remember when you said you'd never get an Amaro? There is an Amaro mount. Yes, there is. If you get all of your non-Endwalker classes to level 80. Oh, look, Ranjit. Defeat Ranjit? I don't think so. He's still basically invincible. So. I can fry him with Bahamut, though, if I had Bahamut out.
Here I come.
Defeat Ron Cringe.
Yeah, that
No holding back.
I'm almost there.
Oh, and not only does Ranjit have plot armor here, he also has given the plot armor to his Yomoran adjutant, because the only person who gets to kill the Yomoran adjutant is, well, you'll find out.
How did his adjutant get there? Here, like for real?
He has no reason to be able to be here, but he's here because Ranjit is here, and they need him for a cutscene coming up. So.
The Warrior of Light, Slayer of Gods, Destroyer of Ascians, Savior of all of Hydaelyn, Liberator of Doma, is incapable of murdering 2 men.
Yep, because the cutscenes don't allow you to do that. So.
He is far too strong for us, the Warrior of Light, having felled multiple dragons and gods.
I mean, I'm killing him. He's only got 72% of his health left. Oh good, they LB'd outside of the thing, even though they're not in the light party. Okay, so now the sisters will take care of him, because cutscene, and Y'shtola and I need to go in the sealed door. Oh good, the Heart of Tupasa. More sentinels. Alright, hang in there, Y'shtola. I'll go grab the Heart of Tupasa. Let's hope it doesn't say "Long live the king" and then throw me off a cliff while I'm at it.
Oh. Hate.
How did this adjutant get here? Like, for real. Didn't we kill him in the first, kill one of the first brood? Why is this old man giving us so much trouble? Square Enix needed him to have plot armor. That's it. And, case in point, he just killed, or not killed, but drop-kicked 3 of the greatest warriors left in Norvrant with a single kick. So, yeah. Ranjit does what he wants. He does what the plot tells him.
Ranjit goes where he pleases.
Yep. Hi there. Y'shtola, you don't have to do that. I can handle him one-on-one, and this did not end well when you did this with Xenos. He's trying to be Xenos. Do you want to be in a coma again?
General, hold on!
I don't think he's having any trouble, Mr. Adjutant. As a matter of fact, you're about to make it worse for all of us. Well, it didn't cause any... Okay, never mind. There's the earth shaking. Hello. You better run if you want to live, sir. Y'shtola, just stay close. No. Okay, Warrior of Light, Savior of Worlds. You should be standing close to Y'shtola because she's blind and can't see the floor falling out from underneath her. Help her, goddamn you! She's your friend! At this point, the character that I'm playing is not me anymore. It's the character that Square Enix wants me to play.
How was I to know that that would happen? It looked like any other part of the
I
floor.
see her sass has remained.
It very much did not look like any other part of the floor. I'm pretty sure that was an orange diamond, sir, that you very keenly stepped on.
Might now be an opportune time to strike a bargain?
What do you have in mind? And shouldn't you consult your general before doing this?
Maybe we should just kick Ranjit off the cliff.
He'd survive.
Of course he would, but he'd be out of our hair for long enough until he either jumped back up or climbed back up, because his powers are bullshit.
That's true. Yeah, you know, I kind of figured that was going to happen. I desperately tried to tell Y'shtola and everyone else in Slitherbow that it was going to happen, but nobody listened to me, and that's why you guys were able to do that. Don't look so surprised.
This is the antidote.
Getting to this.
No, that is an antidote, sir. It's not the antidote. The article, the, implies that it's the proper noun antidote, capital A, which would mean that that antidote would be the only one left in existence. Not true. There are plenty of spiders left, unless, again, we, as the heroes of darkness, caused an extinction-level event when we threw those bees into that vent, which we did not. The game made no intention of telling us that it did. That is an antidote, not the antidote. Use your words.
I dare say you know how potent their concoctions are, and the futility of trying to counteract their effects.
Well, yeah, it is kind of futile to try to counteract poison with anything other than anti-poison.
Now. Try anything here, and we're all likely to fall.
You're right about that. I'd survive, because I'm a
Eventually
JRPG
someone
protagonist.
will come
But
to our rescue. Or yours. Promise us safe passage, and we'll give you the antidote.
you'll give us an antidote, yes. I mean, that sounds reasonable to me.
Do we have a deal?
Y'shtola, I think we take him up on this offer.
We do not negotiate with the enemy. The villagers' lives are forfeit, as is yours.
Or his general could get pissed at him and throw him off the cliff, and then we just have to go get a different antidote. Goodbye.
General?
I love his little general as he's falling to his death. Wait, Y'shtola, where the fuck are you going? Thanks, but...
Do not fail.
Well, what the fuck do you mean? Well, I've felt that wind before. So,
How noble and pointless.
you know, Ranjit, I hate to say this, because I fucking despise you as a not character. Why do I relate to you right now? Let's just go over what just happened, okay? We'll just say it. So, Y'shtola threw herself off of a cliff, and that wind that she spewed out when she flew off the cliff, that was not her using, Arrow of the Seventh Dawn to cushion her fall. Reasonable thing to do. She is a sorceress. I would think at this point she'd be able to use magic and cutscenes or something. So she threw herself off a cliff to get a bottle of antidote that's easily replaceable and threw it back to me. And that wind was her yeeting herself into the life stream again. So she just killed herself, quote unquote. We can get her back from the life stream. It's not going to be easy, but we can get her back from it. Over a replaceable bottle of antidote. Okay, so let me break that down for you. Okay. Y'shtola, the most recognizable scion in Final Fantasy XIV, arguably the most recognizable character in Final Fantasy XIV. What does that mean? It means from a marketability standpoint, she cannot die. Any time that she attempts to kill herself, she will be back. So this whole exercise of her throwing herself to her death, quote unquote, is completely pointless. Doesn't make any sense. Threw herself off a cliff. Okay, I mean, fine, sure. We can, technically speaking, survive falls of indeterminate height. She could be, at this point, considered a JRPG protagonist, so she would have lived the fall. Not easily, but she would have lived it. And then yeet herself into the life stream, so now she won't live the fall, because I'll talk about that in a second once I get to that point in the sentence, over a replaceable bottle of antidote. I've already argued why this is stupid. Again, unless we as heroes of justice and might caused an extinction level event in Raktika and killed every single one of the poisonous spiders that the Children of the Everlasting Dark not only use, but have ever used in their entire lifetime and will ever use again. Unless we killed all of them, we can make more antidote. The antidote that guy was talking about is replaceable. And then threw herself into the life stream. So now, okay, so multiple different things could have happened in this cutscene. The way that I said it, the first time we got to this point, I was like, okay, cool.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
I understand you're about to fly into a tirade tantamount to hitherto unheard of.
I'm almost done, actually.
I was going to say, you might want to finish the cutscene before...
We're going to finish the cutscene, because I'm going to have more to talk about as we go through the cutscene. There's a point that I'm making.
So do I.
Here. So, okay, so she flung herself into the live stream just now. It was not a means of saving herself. She said, "Do not fail," and she looked at us, and there was a big pause, like it was a death scene. Again, she can't die. It wouldn't be marketable for Square Enix to kill off the character that represents the game. Again, she's in Dissidia, okay? They don't put anybody else in Dissidia. They didn't put Xenos in Dissidia, as far as I'm aware. They put Y'shtola in Dissidia. She can't die. She's marketable. She can't die. It's the same reason none of the Scions can die. So if they ever make a noble sacrifice, it's unimportant. It makes no sense because they can't die. And again, a number of different ways this could have gone. I thought, first time I went through this, I said, okay, cool. So this is the first half of the duty. We're going to get into another instance after this where I, Y'shtola, and Ranjit all have to escape from the temple after falling down this cliff, and we end up going through the depths of the area. We learn a little bit about Ranjit's character as we go, and maybe we learn why he's so motivated to try to get Minfilia back. Maybe there's a depth to it that we just haven't seen yet because Square Enix hasn't showed it to us. Spoilers for 5 seconds from now, that's not going to happen. Ranjit will not develop any character because he has no character to develop. And so Y'shtola, flinging herself off the cliff into the life stream, like, I cannot describe to you how pointless it all is. Why did she specifically throw herself into the life stream is the question that I have left. And the answer to that question is because it's what's marketable. Square Enix realized, upon creating Shadowbringers, that they had this big untapped marketability thing with the Scions. They said, okay, cool, we can use them as the face of 14. These are the characters that are recurring, and we've been sleeping on them, frankly. So from a business standpoint, yes, giving them more spotlight and letting them do more things makes sense. It lets you market them, and it gives people characters that they remember from the story. So it's not just like, oh, well, I remember the Beast Tribes. I do. To be fair, I remember them better than the Scions, but, anyway. So they looked at previous X-Packs, and they said, okay, so what's marketable about these people? Thancred had a crush on Minfilia that hasn't resolved yet, so let's just have him do it again. Orion J hasn't gotten anything since 1.0, so let's write an actual character for him. The twins can just be the twins. Everybody loves the twins. Nobody questions whether the twins have been static characters since the end of Heaven's Ward. That's fine. Just let them do their own thing. What do we do with Y'shtola? So there are two things that are marketable, quote-unquote, about Y'shtola. Two things that everybody remembers about Y'shtola. One is that she's sassy. So that's easy. Just have her be sassy and witty in her dialogue. Two, she made a noble sacrifice that was actually requited in A Realm Reborn, that everybody remembers, where she threw herself into the life stream in order to use magic, heretofore untapped by man, in order to distract the brass blades enough for everybody else to get away. And it was a whole thing. They made a whole huge chunk of quests out of getting Y'shtola back from the life stream. So again, anybody that's played that sequence is going to remember that. So now they said, okay, fuck it, let's just do it again. Okay, so when you do something like that, it undermines the original, okay? It undermines the depth of her sacrifice in the original because now she's willing to just do it again. For no good goddamn reason. Again, it's a replaceable bottle of antidote. We could have made it, or at the very least, we could have held the Children of the Everlasting Dark to the fire until they made us one. Hell, I could probably cook a bunch of spiders, the venomous spiders, in my cook pot and make some antidote. Again, I'm creating anti-poison feed for an Amaro right now. But because Square Enix can't count on you doing any side quests, they have to make it look like there's conflict here. They've been doing it since the beginning of Raktika. They have to make it look like, no, this is the only bottle of antidote that exists. It's the only bottle that's ever existed, and it's the only bottle that will ever exist. And then the guy who's holding onto it falls off a cliff, and one of the Scions has to make a noble sacrifice, quote unquote, that's completely pointless in order for this to happen. So, first of all, not a noble sacrifice. She'll be back. She's too marketable to die right here. Second of all, completely pointless. Again, Ranjit hit the nail on the head right here. Why am I agreeing with him? I hate him. Okay, before I move on, Cole, anything to add?
See, here's the thing. I'm gonna wait until this cutscene's over to give my thoughts on it, because I feel like it requires an extended thing.
It does, because it gets so much worse from here.
Oh boy.
It gets so much worse from here. Let's keep going and see how badly this train wreck derails.
Oh, my back.
Yeah, stretch break. Why am I agreeing with you,
Trust
General?
me.
Why do I agree with what you're saying? Everything she just did was pointless.
Is everyone all right?
No,
But you're
Minfilia.
still going down that hole.
Everyone is not all right.
What?
It's a hole. Have you never seen a hole before?
Oriage!
Okay, now watch this.
Okay, this is cool. I'm not
Okay.
even gonna... No cap, this is cool.
Okay, so you see that move that Urianger just used? Where he had a tether thing that he pulled Ranjit off his feet to do. Right? So I've been told that that is what rescue looks like. Like if you look at rescue as a healer in motion, that's what it kind of looks like in slow motion. Let me wait until they give
admittedly, Thancred, that was cool. I'm gonna give you that.
No, I mean, okay, so it's a cool scene, right? Here's my problem with it. Why didn't Y'shtola do that? To the bottle of antidote? Or to the adjutant that fell off? Because it's obvious that she could have pulled him off of the thing. And why is it obvious that she could do that? Because before she was a sorceress, she was a conjurer. Conjurers, by extension, have rescue. They learn it as a part of their role actions. It's not white mage exclusive. It's not exclusive to jobs. It's conjurer gets rescue. At like level 48, if I recall correctly. So Y'shtola, having been a conjurer previously, would have access to rescue. And before you say, oh, well, she changed classes, so she wouldn't have access to it anymore. That's bullshit. Because she can still use Cure as a sorceress. So she still has access to some of her conjurer stuff. So why not use rescue to get the bottle back? Like, this whole scene makes me feel like I'm having an aneurysm. Because it's so fucking stupid. Like, I'm speechless. I'm not, obviously. I have a whole tirade to go on. But I'm just speechless as to how this flew under everybody's radar. Because I talked about this when I played this through the first time. It's why Cole got Azura about it last time we were playing. Because he was afraid of what I was going to say here. Because I got really pissed off at this part last time. This is where the story lost me, by the way. The story never picks back up for me after this point. So, we'll, that's why we're having this tirade now. But yeah, I got really pissed off at this. And there's even more to come, so let's just keep going. Again, there's like 2 more cardinal sins that this game's gonna commit because of this stupid fucking instance. Actually, let's give the instance credit. I like the instance. I don't like the cutscene after it. So.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so there's 2 things that have happened. And again, this is amidst all of the stupid shit that's already happened in Raktika. This is happening, so.
Marie, are you still in chat?
She's listening intently. Anyway, that's it for the instance, so we can go back to a party now.
Alright. So, now that we're out, I have some thoughts.
Should we go to Fano first before you have your thoughts, so we're in a safe place? Okay.
We should do that.
Okay. Anyway, we gotta wait for Ulmet to get back, so... Or, Umet, rather. Excuse me. Oh good, they'll give me some silver after this. So let's get through this, and then you can talk about your thoughts once we go back to Fano, because we're gonna go back. Well, they seemed to have the impression that it was like, bottomless. Also, Thancred, if you're looking for Y'shtola, she's not in the hole. or anywhere that we can reach her at the moment. So. Also, this is bullshit because Ranjit lives. I'm just going to spoil it right now. Ranjit survives that fall of indeterminate height despite not being a JRPG protagonist, and he shows up like nothing fucking happened in the next zone. So there is, in fact, another way out, and it turns out Almond and the rest of them are just fucking ignorant.
Ranjit, okay, I have to say this now before my fucking tirade that I'm about to go on based on everything you said.
That's fine.
Ranjit is like a parasite in this plot. The plot sets up logical, understandable things. An entire race of fucking Vieira that have lived in these woods and served the Empire
for
the
3,000
longest
years.
of times.
For 3,000
fucking years. They know these woods, backwards and forwards. They saw some of the trees get fucking planted in these goddamn woods, and they don't know of a second way out of the fucking temple, but Ranjit magically makes one when he decides to show up.
Yep.
No, they couldn't have just said, oh, he crawled out of the hole, or he grabbed onto a ledge and didn't fall all the way, and because he's, like, built different, his arm didn't break from grabbing the wall, unlike Y'shtola, who's not Ranjit. No, he finds another fucking way out.
Which means that your friend has to die, quote-unquote, while Ranjit goes on living like nothing happened. It's like, what the fuck? What kind of bullshit?
Ranjit bends reality and the plot around him to ensure his survival time and time again. Listen.
I had a thought about that, though. What if Ranjit is capable of aetheryte travel? Like, what if...
It would be really funny if he just used return.
That's what I was about to say. What if while he was falling there, he just used return and he ended up back in Yolmor, and that's why he keeps ending up everywhere at once? It's just because he could just use return. Of course, that causes another question for me to happen, which is, why didn't Y'shtola use return? Or teleport? Surely she was capable of aetheryte travel. Like, Thancred I could understand. He can't aetheryte travel because his ether got all fucked up when La Habrea was in his head. Everybody else, what the fuck is your excuse? I know I'm feeling better because I can actually go on these tirades now. Anyway, so the exact thing that I said happened, and most of the Blessed got poisoned by this magical poison that only has one antidote ever in existence. So, wouldn't it be easier, Thancred, for us to... So you're saying, okay, well, let's go tend to the wounded villager in Fano. First of all, we know that won't do jack diddly fucking shit, because I've seen you guys ministrate. You guys told me you ministrated treatments to this poison, and it did nothing back in Slitherbow. So why wouldn't we just take the person who's wounded in Fano back to Slitherbow, since Yulmore has abandoned Slitherbow now? They advanced and Ranjit fell down a hole, so now they're leaving. Why wouldn't we just take all the villagers to one place and then treat them all at once? Like, I swear, whoever put this to paper didn't think about a goddamn... Like, this is the first edit, okay? This isn't even something that someone went back and proofread. There's no proofreading being done here. The editing is an important part of the writing process, and someone did none of it in Raktika. And it pisses me off! No, she leapt into that hole for no good reason over a bottle of replaceable antidote, and she didn't use rescue despite being a conjurer previously. This is where this, like I said, this is where the story lost me. And you can see why. It's making egregious errors over the course of this whole entire section. To the point where no one should be taking this seriously or funnily, because it's gone from being not serious to not funny to being just bad, okay? Like, you could laugh at certain things. This isn't funny bad, okay? This is just bad. Like, the reason, by the way, this is where the story lost me. Her sacrifice was in vain, Ariane, just by virtue of it happening, so just don't even fucking talk to me about that. The reason why the story lost me here is because it's not the cardinal sin of Shadowbringers, okay? The cardinal sin of Shadowbringers is the fact that at every possible turn, they have deleted agency from your character in order to tell a story about one specific character. Again, I was talking about it when we went through Holminster. You have a victory screen and you're sad on it. Why are you sad? Because Square Enix has one specific type of person in mind now when they play through the story. Before this, it wasn't really a huge problem, because there were very few situations where they had you as the player give your input on something without giving you some choice in the matter. So even though it was, they thought out every possible outcome, it was at least an illusion of choice to make it seem like you had choices to make. And they, honestly, most of the time didn't ask you to do specific things or show specific emotions, because it's a game with character creation and customization in it. So requiring the player to emote in certain places when you don't know that they're going to be sad about something is a deletion of agency. In a game where the prime motivation, it's an MMO for God's sakes, character creation and expression is like a cornerstone of the genre. So deleting that from the story is a huge risk. The only reason why you'd want to do it is because you have a very specific, very powerful story that you want to tell that is better than anything that the players could come up with. So, I give them, before this, I could have gone off about the agency thing, I give them the benefit of the doubt. Okay, maybe they're going to tell a story that's better than what I could possibly imagine, and all of this will be worth it. But now, we've seen what their idea of a story is, and it's not worth it, because it's stupid!
Building. I have words.
Anyway, they're going to let us go back to Fano now, so now you can talk. Sorry for making you wait until then.
Okay!
Also, we're back in Fano.
Alright, so, listen. Okay. I've listened to your tirade.
Yes.
I have been mentally preparing myself for this speech for years.
Now, see, and it wasn't as bad as you thought it was going to be, was it? Because I didn't go off on the fucking
let me
handle
break this down
like
for
a
you.
maniac.
Exactly. Let me break this down for you. Okay, so I will freely admit, having them sacrifice Y'shtola only to then bring her back later, spoiler alert.
Spoiler
by
alert,
later,
they
I mean
bring her
very
back
soon.
later. That isn't really
Before
a spoiler.
we go into this next cutscene.
She's like the most marketable person in this game.
Alright, so, while I will freely admit that her sacrifice was a little bit thing, but from a story perspective, I understand why Y'shtola, as a character, decided to do that. Let me break this down for you, point by point, based on what you did. Y'shtola did that because, yes, there is probably the possibility to make more of an antidote. Y'shtola, in that moment, made a critical, clinical decision, understanding the children and their poison and their work, and understood that that bottle of antidote was probably the only way that a majority of the people that were poisoned could be finished, because while she trusts us, she has enough experience with the children to understand that their poisons work quickly, efficiently, and mercilessly. Their poisons will kill everyone by the time we manufacture another bottle of antidote. And, even under the express circumstance that the Scions of the Silent Dawn are built different and are basically badasses in terms of the plot, she made the executive decision that her life was worth sacrificing if it meant that more people who were poisoned were brought back. Because at the end of the day, Y'shtola left them, and because she left them, she got poisoned. Yes, that is a whole fucking tirade of can of worms in and of itself.
Yeah.
Y'shtola left them, and they all got poisoned because she left them, and she never once expressed concern.
Well, that's
but I think
why
that
I have a
action...
problem.
Hold on!
Okay, keep going.
That action of bringing these people, of getting that antidote, proves that not only does she care about these people enough to give her life for them, but understands that she, as a Scion, needs to sacrifice things in order to save people. She got that bottle of antidote because she did not know and made an express decision in that exact moment that we would not be able to find and manufacture more of the antidote before people died. And Y'shtola may have understood, perhaps... Take a deep breath for a minute.
Yeah, take a
Y'shtola
breath.
may have understood
Thank goodness.
that the poison was probably potent enough that by the time we got the information, assuming we could, because the Children of the Night's Bless seem like they're so zealotous and crazy, that by the time we beat the antidote out of them, they would have all probably taken that to their grave, and then told us to fuck off and die, and then they would have killed all of us, and we would have had to resort to some pretty fucking disgusting things to get the true answer.
Oh, yeah.
Because, yeah, they probably would have had it written down somewhere, but by the time we've progressed through all of those options, everyone who got poisoned would have been dead.
Oh yeah, you know what the worst part of this is?
I'm making sense?
No, I disagree wholeheartedly with what you're saying, because Y'shtola sure as hell showed a fine time to care after leaving them all to die in the wake of the Yoamorans because of mechanical reasons. But, and again, she could have done a number of different things differently in that situation to not have to eat herself in the live stream. The worst part about this whole thing, well, okay, so we're getting to the worst part about this whole thing, which is that Square Enix can't commit to a goddamn thing. They just like doing shit for shock value. But the worst part about this whole thing is that the Children of the Everlasting Dark have no plot relevance after this. They get off scot-free for what they did. You never see them again. They don't show up in the culling log for Clan Nutsy. And Yulmore just kind of leaves them, and they do nothing. They don't die. Like, you don't... Okay, so here's how... Let's say you want to keep most of the story beats the way that they are, okay? Let's say we want to make as minimal changes as we could to Raktika, and we still wanted to make it make sense. Here's how I would have done it. So, you go to disrupt the spiders with the bees in their fuck-off cave in the northwest corner of Raktika. You throw the bees in there, there's no reaction. Nothing happens. No spiders running out of the cave, no people getting crazy, nothing. What the fuck's going on? So, okay, let's go look in the cave. We need to go in there anyway for the tablet thing that Y'shtola needs to read despite not being able to see. And let's figure out where the people are. You go into the cave, there are no Children of the Everlasting Dark in there at all. They're gone. You think they were in there, this was their base of operations, they're gone. So you get in there and there's no resistance whatsoever. No spiders, no children, nothing. So you say, okay, well that's kind of weird. What the fuck's going on? So then fast forward to the part where Yulmore is threatening Slitherbow. And, you know, Y'shtola, understandably surprised by the fact that they're here, says, well, I mean, you know, you could try to kill all of us, but we're like one of the only ones left in this area. Wouldn't that be kind of counterintuitive, especially since the children, like, where are the Children of the Everlasting Dark, by the way? And then Ranji can just be like, oh, we killed them. Every single one of them. And we also killed every single one of their spiders and made a habit out of going to every dark corner of this fucking woodland and killing every single one of those spiders that ever existed. Put the extinction level event on them. It gives you a good reason to hate them. And it also sets it up so that now the replaceable bottle of antidote that they have may be the only one left in existence because the Yulmorans stamped out any possible method of curing someone. It adds stakes while changing very little. Okay? So, and I mean, I'd change a number of things in Raktika, but if you wanted to make the minimal number of changes possible, that's all you need to do. Say the Children of the Everlasting Dark exist, and then use the fact that you're actually in gameplay to show that not only do they no longer exist, that's also a very bad thing for you because people that you know and love are being poisoned by their poisons, and there may be very little antidote left to cure it. It adds stakes while changing very little. So,
Listen,
what do you think of that?
I will continue to play devil's advocate in the fact that, listen, Raktika is arguably, honestly, truthfully, the weakest part of Shadowbringers. It gets to the point where it's a Realm Reborn bad.
Oh, it gets worse than that in my book, but anyway, continue.
However, my issue is not with Y'shtola's sacrifice. She made a critical decision to get the antidote. Yes, they could have set up that she cared more for the people that were poisoned in order to make us understand why she made that critical decision in that moment.
They couldn't do that,
My issue is not with her sacrifice, it's with how they bring her back.
Yeah, we're getting to that. Cole's going to have reason to be yelling with me in a few minutes, so let's get to that part because we've only got about an hour left and we still need to get through the
I don't have issue with Y'shtola's sacrifice. I think it makes sense for her character. I think that doing that in that moment could have been set up a little bit better, honestly.
A lot better.
They could have made it a lot better.
No, you don't have to change. I just think it's a lot better.
My point of the matter being, my points are flexible, you see. I'm playing devil's advocate here, but I'm also learning and comprehending and changing my opinion because that's how debates actually functionally should work, is that both sides present their options and then come to a middle ground by the end of it. Point of the matter being is that they set up the Children of the Everlasting Dark to be much more of a threat than they actually are, and had us shown in story how potent their poisons are and how fast they kill. Like, all they need to do was take an unnamed NPC, like a random fucker, and have us find them in the woods.
By the way, they had one that Yulmore planted at our feet in Slitherbow and said, hey, this fucker's dying because we poisoned him.
Exactly. Now, have that fucking quest drag his dumbass back in, and then everybody's like, oh, we need to find a cure. And then everyone in the village gets really solemn. And then everyone's just like, wait. And then everyone's like, wait, why can't we find a cure? And then they go into the Children of the Everlasting Dark's poisons are so foul that the only way to get the that, like, you need to administer the antidote, like, frighteningly quickly. This one's already gone. Like, set up stakes.
Yeah.
Make
Well,
it
yeah,
so
that's
that
what I'm
your
saying,
Stola
too.
sacrifice makes sense. Like,
Set up
she
stakes.
needs to get you that fucking antidote, because the sooner that they're cured, the better, because of how potent and deadly the poisons that they make are. That's all they fucking needed to do, and
Yes.
they didn't do that.
No, not at all. And the other thing that I'm thinking about this too is that it's kind of a catch-22, because if they had Ishtola care as much as she cared when she threw herself off a cliff for a bottle of replaceable antidote, we would have brought everybody in Slitherbow with us to Fano, despite the danger. Because again, in Fano, they had a chance of being killed by the allies of Ronka, these Vir and Amazonas warriors. When she left them in the direct path of Yulmore, they will definitely kill everyone in Slitherbow in the most gruesome way possible, because it's
All they
Yulmore
had to
and that's
do
what they
in
do.
the instance
So they
was
can't
they didn't
have
even have to
her.
move the NPCs. They could have just gone, oh, everyone in, like, you know, fucking okay. All they had to do was set up how quickly the Children of the Everlasting Dark's poisons work, and then in the instance say that these people were moved to Fano, but Yulmore broke through regardless,
Okay,
pushed past
that's fine.
Slitherbow, pushed into the fucking forest, and still got to them.
Yeah,
That's what they needed to do.
I'd
right
be more
there.
okay with that. I wouldn't be happy, but I'd be more okay with that. Like, genuinely, I would be more okay with that than what happened. But again, they can't have Ishtola care about that, because that would require them to move NPCs that give quests, and they've demonstrated previously they absolutely will not do that. So,
fair, it's
they
not
have to
easy,
have
trust
her
me.
selectively not give a shit about any of these people that she's been with for 2.5 years when we leave. All she cares about is finding the Light Warden and killing it and getting to Ixmaya, until she sees the antidote and the guy says it's the antidote rather than an antidote. Like, there are too many details here where you could just immediately say, no, this is stupid and bullshit, for this to just fly over and people say, no, this is the best X-Pack ever. But it sure as fuck happened anyway. Anyway,
Look,
we've got an hour left, and we still got to get to the part that Cole
To be
actually
fair-
is upset with, so...
To be fair, we knew this stream was going to be a little hectic.
It's true. It's true. So let's keep going and get to the parts we hate so we can get to Katana Rabble, which is a very victory lap kind of dungeon, considering how bad this gets. Anyway, Urian J's been curing for like 10 minutes now straight without stopping, so I think he needs to loose it a little bit. Also, it's pointless because it's poison, so it's not going to help him. I must tell Square Enix how stupid their story is.
Where am I?
You're in Fano, precisely the opposite place that you should be right now. Also, by the way, this is proof that the people of Fano would have accepted the refugees had we brought everyone from Slitherbow with us, because they brought Runar into the village like there was no problem.
All they had to say was that the residents of Fano have taken in the residents of Slitherbow during the instance. One line of dialogue.
One line of dialogue. They didn't have to move anybody. I mean, it would have been a little bit weird if you would have gone back to Slitherbow and been like, oh, look, all the villagers are here, despite the fact that I'm halfway to getting to the instance and I'm already in the temple. Okay, at that point, it's like, okay, you already know Urian J is in the first and the source simultaneously, so that's on you. Anyway.
No. No, I am all right. Somewhat heavy of limb, perhaps.
Well, you're about to get heavier of limb because your girlfriend yeeted herself into the live stream for no good reason.
I am glad to see you are all safe. When we realized where the soldiers were headed, we knew something had to be done.
Yeah, I knew something had to be done before we knew where the soldiers were heading. It was pretty fucking obvious where they were heading, directly through you, but no one wanted to move you.
I do not see Master Matoya. She was with you, yes? What happened to her?
Thancred, you tell him, because if I tell him, I'm going to get so angry, I'm going to throw him off a cliff to join her. It's going to make me say it. I'm not going to say it. Ellipsis. That's all you fucking get, Runar, because if I say it, you're going with her. Been listening for a while. Also chose to your leveling road. I'll be watching this again.
Where is Master Matoya?
Also, with however much poison is in that one vial, you feed far too much to one person before you see effects. There has to be more antidote. There's no fucking way. That one vial is barely enough for 10 people. You cannot be fucking serious. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make sense for there to be only one antidote. Okay? That's like a sticking point for me. It cannot be the only bottled antidote, because these people work with these venomous spiders on the daily. So if they only made one antidote, they'd all be dead.
To be fair, their whole shtick is death. So it's like,
Well,
oh no, we
actually-
lost somebody to making our poisons. Oh well, our whole thing is that we like murdering people because that returns them back to the everlasting sea of stars. Well, I guess their sacrifice wasn't in vain. Now we know the poison will kill us, so let's send somebody else to work at it.
Well, actually, we don't get far enough into their religious doctrine to know anything other than that they want to bring the dark back. That's all we know about
I'm
their
slowly
religious
coming to the
doctrines.
conclusion that you would not have as much of a problem with this section. Like, if they actually develop the Children of the Knights Blessed, like, sure, they'd still get
if they
written
put
out of
any
the
thought
story.
into it whatsoever,
No other way.
yeah, I wouldn't have as much of a problem with it.
I cannot believe this.
Oh, but we're getting to the part where I'm going to start exploding.
Oh, look, now Runar is questioning exactly what I said. Was there no other way? No, there were plenty of other ways, Runar. She was a conjurer. She could have rescued the adjutant, grabbed the bottle, and then pushed him off. I would have laughed if that was what happened, because that would have been so on point for Y'shtola's character. But no. They had to be like, oh, okay, what's marketable about Y'shtola? Oh, she killed herself to help you previously? Okay, well, we'll do it again. Well, where she went, I don't think we can search.
What are you waiting for? We
Runar.
must find her. She could be trapped, or hurt, or...
She's in the life stream. Do you guys know what the life stream is?
She is alive. She is alive, damn you.
I mean, she will be alive shortly, because Square Enix can't commit to a goddamn thing when they do it anymore, but... I feel like this part would actually be genuinely sad if they gave any thought whatsoever to this whole scenario, but they didn't. So, Runar's whole thing about crying there, completely pointless. Does nothing.
Forgive me for interrupting, but our scouts have apprehended an intruder.
And I want to be clear on this. This is not meant to be offensive to anyone who actually did cry here
we
when Runar
fucking
was
go.
crying. This was not meant to be offensive to anybody who actually cried here when Runar was crying over Y'shtola's sacrifice. I just think that that's even more devious, because that means that you are an emotionally vulnerable person, which is fine, fair enough. We need emotionally vulnerable people in the world. And Square Enix is taking advantage of your emotional vulnerability to make you sad at something that's genuinely not sad. They're taking
You
advantage
can
of you.
hear me in the background.
We thought perhaps you might
I see
be
the
an
dialogue
associate
that's
of
currently
yours.
on stream.
Oh,
Here
good.
we go!
Oh, good. Our special guest is back. Again, this is a reason why didn't we bring the refugees with us? If they're so fucking willing to let an Elderasian into their village...
To be fair, they don't know it's an Elderasian.
Oh, look who it is.
No, but look at how fucking suspicious he looks at all times of the day.
To be fair,
Wow,
they don't know what a
this is
Garlean looks like. I think they would just assume that somebody
In
from
my
Yulmore,
defense, they
considering he
have
carries himself with the same kind of
surprising
pompous
Then why didn't they kill
stance.
him? Then why didn't they kill him? Or try? They wouldn't like Yulmore at this point. Why didn't they try to kill him?
Jimmy descending into madness.
This playthrough will make me go to hell and back.
So, what trouble have you gotten yourselves into this
Can I
time?
punch him?
Actually, he might be useful. Do you know how to reach into the live stream? Let's not dismiss him outright. He's an Ascian. He has Eldritch Abomination powers that might be of use to us, because Y'shtola made a grave, seriously stupid error today, and in order to save Square Enix's marketability, I will be the better man and get her back out of the live stream.
What an intriguing turn of events.
Yeah, intriguing is a very good euphemism for it. I wouldn't use
My
such
condolences,
colorful
by the
language.
way.
I'd be
It is
using...
never easy to lose the ones we love.
She's not lost, though. She's just in the live stream floating around.
Well, she is dead, isn't she? Wishing it were otherwise will not make it so.
She's not dead, though. She's just in the live stream.
That
We've
you
literally brought her back
Our
before,
loss is
man.
no surprise. To us, she was a friend. The best of friends.
Why am I relating to both Ranjit and Emmett Selk today? I hate it.
I love how Thancred consistently through this entire expansion is just ready to run hands with absolutely everybody we meet.
That's kind
He
of
does not give a
Thancred's whole...
fuck.
It's kind of Thancred's whole thing at this point. He's already been
Elderasian?
possessed.
Fuck it.
He's already been possessed by an Ascian once. He's like, what's the fucking worst that could happen?
So much Black Air Force energy. It's great. This is why I love Thancred. He just doesn't give a fuck.
You have something on your mind.
Eldritch Abomination, Primal,
By
Ascian,
the
fuck
way,
it. This gunblade.
by
Oh,
the
nothing.
way, all of that shit that I just told you about Ishtola being in the live stream, your character only just now realized that she's in the live stream rather than dead. I'm not beginning to wonder. I know what happened.
Listen, to be fair to the player character, to be fair, everything that happened involving Y'shtola's resurrection and all the bullshit of how she disappeared in the first place, it has been multiple expansions since then. We haven't exactly gone through tantamount to few traumatic events.
And
Trauma
to be
generally
fair,
fucks with your memory.
and to be
Trust
fair,
me, I know.
and to be fair, the kind of character that they want you to be playing right now would have problems with their memory and would embellish their memories quite a bit, because that's the only type of character they want you to be playing. It's quite literally canon. The normal raids for Shadowbringers explicitly have you misremembering old trials in order to make them harder.
The landslides, the landslides.
I'll show you how we'll be handling those when we get through this mess of a story. Because we'll be handling them. Not the way Square Enix wants me to, but we will be handling them.
I recall a similar gale in the tunnel before it took effect.
Yeah, and again, if you go back and watch the cutscene in The Unending Journey, when Y'shtola does yeet herself into the live stream the first time, that gust of wind is consistent. It actually happened there too. So if you have a good memory, like Marie or I, you would remember that. But again, Square Enix doesn't want you to have a good memory. They want you to be the kind of person who has PTSD over their shit and embellishes their memories because they can't remember things. Remember, the minstrel in this game exists to give you extreme trials, not because the minstrel's embellishing things, but because you're misremembering things and the minstrel's just going along with it. We haven't done any EX trials, though, so I can't really give you a
It is
physical
realistic
demonstration,
for
so.
somebody like the Warrior of Light, having gone through as much traumatic nonsense as they have, to have memory loss. It is an actual, scientific, proven fact that trauma fucks with your memory.
Sure.
And multiple instances of trauma will have you misremembering and even forgetting other events in your life.
That's true.
Because your brain is basically stuck on remembering the same thing over and over again.
That's true.
Because it's traumatic.
It's true.
So it's understandable why the Warrior of Light wouldn't necessarily realize right away what Y'shtola did, considering, you know, the everything we went through in Heaven's Ward, and Shadowbringers, and Stormblood,
That's true. It also...
and all the side content.
It also puts your character into a box. Again, it's the absence of agency thing here, because when you write a character to have trauma like that, that makes that character very rigid in terms of what you can do with them. And again, in an MMO, you can't have a main character be rigid. You can have side characters be rigid because they're not the player that you're playing as. But when you have people from all walks of life coming into this game from different angles, having experienced trauma or not in their life, you can't say that they have trauma, the main character, because then you're boxing that character in. And if they don't feel like they have any trauma out of this, then they're going to feel like there's a disconnect there. You're alienating players by doing that. Again, you
I guess
can
the
do
point
it
of what
to
I'm trying to
Thancred,
say.
You can do it to Urianger, you can do it to Runar. You can't do it to the main character. They come from too many different angles for you to really nail down a specific character type for them, you know? Excuse me.
I guess one of the things that I'm kind of getting at with the whole trauma thing is that, like, yes, it boxes in your character, but it's a weird little sense of realism, because, let's get real here, the Warrior of Light is human, like, or whatever the hell you're playing. Like, they are a average Joe that got thrust into this role as the hero, and to say that your character isn't traumatized by some of the events that took place during this, considering Eorzea seems to have a war on therapy with how many fucked up people we meet.
Well, sure, they don't have a good
makes sense.
therapy system.
Exactly.
That's fair.
It makes it more realistic that, you know, your character fucking is traumatized, that has memory issues based on their trauma.
So, I don't think it makes it more realistic, though, and the reason why is because your past is not determined by the game. You create a character, and you don't have much battle experience, I will admit to that part, but what you did previous to the game beginning is not determined by the game itself. It's determined by the player. That's where the agency is. So, your character could come into a situation having experienced a significant amount of trauma and gotten better. Or they could be the kind of person where they see all this shit, And at this point, like, the way that I feel like my character would interact with all this shit is, at this point, it's like, okay, listen, I've ended a 1,000-year war. I've killed hundreds of people, potentially most of them innocent, thousands of animals to get to this point. Nothing even phases me anymore. I'm literally trying to get this shit over with so I can go back to feeling. Okay, because I feel when I'm working with the people of the Dome and Enclave. I feel when I'm working with those kids and trying to make the world a better place for them. I don't feel out here. All this shit is just numb, okay? Anyway, but that's where my character would come from here. And again, it's because you can come from multiple different angles at this that they can't nail down specifically, you have trauma. It's like, no, I don't. And I'm the one that can determine that because I'm the one that made the character, not you, Square Enix. What you're saying is plausible, Cole. I'm not saying it's not plausible. It's plausible for some characters, but it's not plausible for all characters. All-encompassing.
Mm-hmm.
So, be fair, you instantly figured out what happened. Then asked, why the fuck did you do that again? Weren't you the one who said it was a gamble last time? Yeah, Square Enix didn't remember that part. They just said, oh, she eated herself in a live stream? Let's do it again! Didn't fucking misremember Nidhogg. That's some minstrel bullshit. I didn't remember a fucking DPS check that no one could figure out. Yeah, that's fine. You were actually traumatized trying to learn Creator Savage and Party Finder. It's why you never beat A12S. No, that's understandable. A lot of people got fucked up by Creator Savage. It's a different kind of trauma, though. You know, it's mechanical trauma rather than story trauma. Anyway, let's get to the part where Cole's going to be yelling now.
I thought I sensed a brief disturbance in the live stream. How reassuring.
And remember, he was not sick, so he actually has the energy to fucking explode today.
I felt it only once, I should mention, which would suggest she is still adrift on its currents.
Well, yeah, she hasn't been in there for that long, even though we've been bitching about it.
Then I fear she may yet be lost to us. For it was only by the grace of the elementals that she was plucked from that great ethereal river.
And considering this is the Gridania of the first, it might be kind of hard to get her out of it again. Although if the live stream is the same for all worlds, we might be able to go back to Gridania and be like, hey, so, you know how you plucked my friend out of the elemental live stream void
very
thing?
Well. I'll go and fetch her.
Or Emmett Cell could just do it, because, again, Square Enix can't commit to anything. Yeah, so you know that whole traumatic incident they just set up? Where they nobly sacrificed one of the members of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn in order to get you a bottle of antidote that they made seem like was the only one in existence? Yeah, that's not a noble sacrifice at all anymore. It now is just pointless because Emmett's just going to undo it. He's just going to Control-Z that part of the script. As a show of good faith, apparently. Cole just... So here he goes. Are you going to do it now or are you going to do it after we get her back?
I'm gonna do it after.
Okay.
Cantata Mortis is building in the background.
Mm-hmm. Cantata Mortis and God and Fire is from Dissidia as well, by the way. From Dissidia before Y'shtola. Okay. And where's that? You never got past the pillar phase of A11S? That's how far Party Finder made it. Okay, gotcha. That's fine.
I'm going to fucking die if I have to. If I have to re-experience.
You know,
these cuts.
Marie, I'm okay with that. I will let you know if we make it to the dungeon. We both want to play DPS for the dungeon, so maybe and maybe not. I'm not sure. You know, I'm okay with going to the dungeon actually today because it's been like 2 hours and 15 minutes since we started, so it might take a little bit for us to get in there, but we can start working on Aether Current quests while we're at it. So.
Okay, I can tank it.
Oh, you can tank it? Okay, so I'll just ping you on Discord if you don't mind coming with us. So like, as long as you don't mind, if you can sit in
okay,
the game.
You know what I'm gonna do? I have a compromise. I am going to wait to go fly into my tirade. I'm gonna go into my tirade while we're getting Y'shtola back, so that way we can entirely focus on the story, the dialogue, and everything in it before we go into the dungeon. It is all out of my system before I have to play through the dungeon.
Okay. So start now, basically, is what you're saying?
Exactly.
Okay,
alright,
go for it.
so listen. So I've played through Endwalker. I've played through various things, and that changes my opinion in some regard. Listen. I don't have an issue with Y'shtola throwing herself back into the live stream. I don't. In my former opinion, her sacrifice was warranted based on some of the details I have. Sure, they could have fleshed out more of how They could have fleshed out the children more. They could have fleshed out things more. They could have made it more believable that these things would have happened.
Hang on, I can give you a flag so you can see where to go. I think it's like right here.
Hang on. I have to blow up a stag. Listen.
Oh no, he's killing a deer!
Listen. Okay. Okay, listen. Listen. I have an issue with this particular story decision because up until this point, the Asians, you know, the Asians.
The Asians.
Jimmy, would you assist me in this tirade for helping me with my point for once? Let us
Okay.
unite our rage together.
Sure.
What have the Asians done to us at this point? They have possessed one of our friends.
Bitched at us about Zodiark.
Okay, so they have at this point nearly
Not quite here.
at this point they have risen up. They have effectively started up Garlemald for the express purpose of causing chaos.
You know what I'm gonna do?
Revived multiple ancient Allegan relics. Multiple ancient Allegan relics to kill us. Have instituted and continued in the Dragon Song War. Possessed one of our friends.
You're outside the target.
And
by the way.
not only that, but have, over the course of their entire existence, committed genocide on multiple worlds.
Yes. Here's what I'm gonna do. Sorry for the frames. I'm
Oh,
just
I have a
looking
question.
at the actual flag for this.
So I have a question. Why the fuck are we, as the Warrior of Light, you know, the Warrior of Light,
Northeast of that big tree thing. Okay, so it's almost exactly where I put it. It's more like right here, I think. So it's like on this cliff, I guess. Maybe up here.
faintly,
Right here? Nope, that's faintly.
maybe it's in the other direction.
Maybe it's inland a little bit. Oh look, foul echoes. Brightly. I'm closer. Also, you need to wait 5 seconds before... Okay, here it is, right here. Stand where I'm standing.
Oh.
Actually, the place of resonance is right here.
Here.
So, yeah.
So my issue with this scene, in particular, this what's happening right here, is that the Asians up until this point have shown no reason to be sympathetic. We have gotten hints about it, but Shadowbringers does something weird with its plot, where it takes Emmett Selk, and then it starts doing things with the Asians to make them less than omnicidal maniacs.
Mm-hmm.
So why the fuck? Like, sure, we needed somebody to pluck Y'shtola out of the life stream. Why are we trusting this man? This man has done nothing but cause us, and this man and his allies have done nothing but cause us endless, boundless, seemingly nigh infinitesimal amounts of suffering throughout
And it goes
everything.
further than
and
that, too. Do you want to finish the sentence, or do you want me to elaborate on that?
Go, please.
So it goes further than just them causing untold amount of suffering, because they don't have a choice in the matter. They're tempered with an elder primal, which means that they have no choice in what they're doing. Okay, they literally do it because Zodiark commands them to. And what Shadowbringers does with Emmett here is that it makes it look like he has a choice in terms of whether or not he can choose to be tempered. Sometimes he helps you, sometimes he doesn't. It's all a part of his plan. Sure, he's got a plan. But as far as I'm aware, tempering doesn't work like that. You can't just selectively be like, okay, I'm gonna help them now.
Hey, so, Marie, can you do me a favor if you're still listening? I know you're probably gone to go do other things. But, can you do me a favor and mute the stream for, like, a few minutes? I'll put a thing in chat telling you when you can unmute it, because I'm about to say a spoiler for Endwalker.
I think Marie mentioned not wanting to re-experience this cutscene, so she might
Fair
not
enough.
be here at the moment.
Fair enough. So this is my warning to not listen past this
Okay,
point.
there you go. Marie said got it, thank you.
So, here's the thing, Jimmy, and I'm going to tell you about a little spoiler about Endwalker.
That's fine.
Which
I'm
is
not
going to
planning on
blow your
playing it.
fucking mind and probably make you angrier than you are.
Okay, that's fine.
Servants of Hydaelyn and Zodiark, they are not tempered.
So that's a retcon, is what that is.
Yep.
Yeah. I
The
kinda had a
Ascians are
feeling-
doing this entirely out of their own volition and off of their own personal thing for whatever the hell they want to do. The Warrior of Light and the Ascians have never been tempered.
I
The
kinda
Blessing
had a
of Light is
feeling-
not tempering.
I kind of had a feeling that was what it was, because it would have meant that selectively the Mother Crystal would have had to not temper us, and the Mother Crystal is not necessarily an Elder Primal, but might be the eldest Primal of them all, since she is the planet.
The reason why I'm telling you this is because of what you just said of the whole the Ascians are tempered thing.
Oh, by the way,
Because
here's
that is
the reason,
statistically not true.
Here's the reason why they had her yeet herself into the live stream, because they know it's marketable when Y'shtola's naked. And as we may remember from last time, she was naked when she came out of the live stream, so...
He's done it.
Runar,
He's brought her back.
enjoy the view! It's the last time you'll ever see it.
Okay, this next part, this is actually funny.
I forget,
think it's
does
funny.
he yeet clothes onto her, or does she just have a replacement? No, he yeets clothes onto her, okay. No, that's funny, okay? Like, that's actually
No fan
silly.
service for you.
No, like, that's actually silly. That is a good detail. That is exactly
Okay, I'm
what I
gonna
would have
tell Marie
wanted to
that
happen right
She
there.
can come back because I'm done talking about
Okay,
Endwalker
so
spoilers for the time being.
at Marie in the chat,
Y'shtola, are you
like in the
alright?
Twitch chat. Are you in Twitch chat? In the Twitch chat right now, or did you leave it? So yeah, at Marie in the chat, and then just tell her that cutscene is over in like 2 minutes, and we'll be going into, and the spoiler's over, and we'll be going into Katana Ravel.
Yes,
So,
though I cannot imagine how.
well, basically, just wait till I'm done with the cutscene, then tell Marie she can come back. How about that? That'd be easier.
Thou didst invoke the power of flow, which thence did usher thy soul unto the life stream.
Rather than, invoking the power of JRPG protagonist, where he would have survived that fall.
I wanted to save the antidote and
An
after that-
antidote. Why is this funny to you? It's not funny to me.
I did something exceedingly reckless, for which you will just have to forgive me.
I hate the wording there. You'll just have to forgive me. I'm not giving you shit, woman! No one's forgiving you. You're dead in my book. You're the worst character in this fucking expansion. No, that's not true. It's still Graha, but she's a very close
Master
second.
Mikoya. Oh, thank the heavens, you're
Okay.
all right.
I'm gonna play devil advocate here again for like 10 seconds.
I had nearly given up.
I don't give a shit like what other people's opinions of the Scions are here, including yours. There is no character. There is no singular character in this expansion that I detest more and think is stupider than Ranjit. Ranjit,
So-
okay, let me put it to you like this. Do you know how you have a grading scale for games?
Yeah.
And how one of them is just piranha bytes?
Yeah. Ranjit
That's
is your
Ranjit.
bottom tier. Okay. So
Yes.
here's the difference
He is
between
in a
you and I.
hell of his own.
So here's the difference between you and I. You consider Ranjit a character. I don't consider Ranjit a character. That's why I can't rate him as the worst character in this X-Pack. It would be too easy.
Is there aught
He's an
you wish to
obstacle,
say
and
to
he's a
me?
bad one at that.
A word of thanks, perhaps?
You're welcome.
Uh,
Yeah, thanks for getting our friend back from her exceedingly reckless decision that she wants me to forgive her for that I never will.
Of whom I spoke.
Thank you, Emmett Selk. I appreciate you. Your character will be greatly improved in my eyes later in this expansion. Spoiler alert.
I was going to say, if you want to go throw up after telling the Elder Ascian thank you, there is a cliff right there.
Okay, I don't hate Emmett. I don't. I have thoughts
see.
about Emmett that I will elaborate on later, but
Differences notwithstanding,
my hate for him pales in
you saved
comparison
my
to another
life,
character that
and
we
for
will
that
meet
I am grateful.
a long time from now.
Okay. That's fair.
Because Emmett has depth, has reason, has
He
some
has
kind
literal
of simple...
depth.
The katana ravel.
That's a joke
Jimmy.
for anybody who's played through this X-Pack already, sorry.
He has depth. He has comprehension. There's like some kind of... What's the word I'm looking for? There's intricacy to his character. There's motivation. There's a burning desire. There's this iconicism to him. But later on, we will meet another character that I also have issues with.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Like, I almost feel like doing this right now. And I never do this for games when I cover projects like this. Like, I'm very tempted to just click yes here and just get straight to the dungeon,
Well,
but...
Almet and the others should be pleased to see you in such uncharacteristically high spirits.
Well, technically speaking, she is high right now. She was literally inside the life stream, so she's high off of everyone's life force. She'll come down from it, probably after Katana. There's a big cutscene after Katana, too. Well, this stream's gonna be 3.5 hours long today. That's okay.
Fuck.
Sorry.
My free time.
Sorry. I mean, we could stop early, but you'd have to be
We'll
here
get through
on
Katana
time.
Rabble.
Well, no, I was gonna say, we could stop early, like, we could stop right in front of Katana, but you'd have to be, like, on time to Saturday's stream so we could go in, basically.
Welcome back, Marie. That was a tirade and a half.
It was a process. Oh, I can take
I didn't even get all the way into it. I didn't even like get down to the depths of it because I looped back around from being so angry. I actually went back to sanity, which is funny because that's what I was expecting Jimmy to do.
Yeah. 226 northeast for the ether current. Okay, it's past the Amaro Keep, which somehow there's an Amaro Keep over here, even though they haven't had contact with the outside world in 3,000 years. Okay.
Talk to Emmett. That's actually a funny piece of dialogue.
Yeah, well, fair enough. That's correct, because they can't, like, work together in this X-Pack, as I can see. Says the Archbringer of Chaos, though.
That's the option I took.
Yeah, that seems to
Listen.
be the greater good for you. It doesn't seem to be the greater good for most anyone else.
See, this is what I mean. Emmett has character.
But okay, so this tracks with how tempering we thought worked back when Shadowbringers happened, and then Endwalker retconned it, so.
We're going to get to Katana Rabble tonight, Marie. That's the goal. We'll just
Are we gonna do it, or are we gonna wait?
We're going to do it.
Okay, that's fair. I'll probably take a bathroom break before we do it, then, just so that we can say that.
Drinks.
Aggressively drinking. Came back to cold crying, guessing got bad. Professor Paradox is the smartest man alive. You will live from sanity to insanity, and vice versa.
I wrote an entire villain surrounding that based on the fact that he was immortal. For one of my D&D campaigns.
Okay,
and
bye,
the party happened upon him after he looped back around to sanity for the umpteenth fucking time.
Oh, did you hit up the Aetheryte in Fan-Out, by the way?
I did.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because you were trying to catch up to me, so I just want to make sure you didn't miss that part. Do. That's how you remember that dungeon. Yeah, that is part of the... I don't know if that's what you were referencing, but that is part of the track there, so... Oh, good, you got a level. By the way,
77.
What I was predicting in terms of levels for you is that in order for you to stay caught up with everybody, I think you need to be 77 on all 4 of your combat classes before the end of Raktika. So if you need to do any leveling, I can help you with it.
Understood.
I mean, we could do it later.
76 on all of them except for Black Mage, which just turned 77.
Well, 77 on all of them, actually.
That's how I remember the dungeon. It's called Unwound. Neither of you are unwound right now.
Yeah, well, we kind of got all that out of our system now, so I can go back to playing this game in earnest until I have reason to say that the music disappoints me.
Please don't talk too bad about Soken, for fuck's sake. The man is trying. Cries.
I'll save it. Anyway, the Yolmorans are
That's
gone.
gonna be the thing that causes the divergence between us, is the Soken thing.
Probably, yeah. It's
I'm
probably
capable of finding middle ground, but...
No, I don't think we're gonna find middle ground on the music thing, honestly. I feel
No,
like that's
we're
like
not.
I feel like that's like a yes or no question. Alright, so we can get in the pyramid now that Y'shtola is done sidetracking the plot. Okay, and what'd she say? Yeah, Kirill was the one that we got the information from a few quests ago about Raktika Falls, so... Oh, Marie, are you on the game? Because I could put you in the party, so that way we're just all together when we hit up the dungeon, and then we can just go once you're ready. So... Yeah, we'll face a little difficulty getting there. Again, Cole, if Marie pulls big in one of the places, you'll have a good reason to LB1. So.
Hey to Ken.
I won't be able to do that because I'm going to be playing Ninja, so I'll just LB the boss. Okay, cool. Then we will explore to our heart's content and also rid it of, you know, the Light Warden that's causing problems.
I don't remember there being a big cutscene after Katana.
I think there's like another mural or something that you find, if I recall correctly. But we'll see. We'll see if my memory's good or not.
I'm already there, by the way.
Oh, alright. Okay. Fair enough.
I did not skip cutscenes. I just read faster than you.
Yeah. Well, I have to react to most of the lines, so that's fair. I wonder what's up with this other Vera that's just kind of chilling in the hammock on the left side of the screen there. Like, they keep looking around bewildered, like they don't know where they are, and I kind of want to know what their story is, because I'd rather know that than the story that they just gave me today. So. There's a mural cutscene? Okay, well, that's okay. We'll just go through that, too. You're dreading needing around 1,700 more bicolor gems kill you. Yeah, I'd want to die, too. I'm sorry. Thanks for the words of encouragement. We'll be alright, though. As long as there's 2 paths, I don't feel like babysitting the trust through this one. I would be mean right now, but Cole's already had a day today, so...
Yeah?
I was going to extend that by saying it's already enough to have to babysit Rory through these dungeons, but that's just not true, is it?
Where's my flamethrower?
Yeah.
You know what? No, I'm healing this dungeon.
Okay.
From that comment.
Well, that'll get us in even faster, actually. This one isn't too bad to heal, though. Actually, now that I think about it,
I'm not actually going to heal it. I want to play Black Mage.
Okay,
I want to blow people up.
That's fine. As you should. Blowing people up is fun. In video games. Let's not give Nitro any ideas. Blowing people up is fun in video games.
Ah, yes. The Cryptid.
I think this is another Ether Current quest down here. Yeah, Stand on Ceremony. Which, again, I'll just reiterate on this. I'm going to reiterate on it again when we... Yeah, again, I don't know how there's an Amaro Keep here, considering they've never seen any other people here for, like, 3,000 years. Like, they wouldn't let the Crystarium in here, let alone an Amaro with a Crystarium backpack on it. What was I saying? Yeah, so if you want to unlock the Beast Tribe quests for the Katana Rabble, which is the Gatherer's Beast Tribe quests, you're going to need to do all of the Ether Current quests and the side quests that open up as a result of the Ether Current quests. That means not just the ones that get you the Ether Currents, but also the chains of side quests that open up for that. I'll be showing all of them. I'm not going to be doing the Beast Tribe quests, though. The main reason, by the way, why I'm not going to be doing any additional Beast Tribe quests... Oh, did you have fun with these floor mandrels? I can see all their aggro targets from you. Yeah, the reason why I'm not doing all the Beast Tribe quests in Shadowbringers, even though this is the last X-Pack I'll be covering, is because there are no allied Beast Tribe quests in Shadowbringers. Which makes me very sad, because they had to cut that out, because it was apparently going to happen during the development that was most impacted by the pandemic. I think that's bullshit, but, well, they don't have them, so I don't really have much of another explanation. Where's this Ether Current, by the way? 79 West. 79 West. Is it on the island? Oh no, I probably just passed it. It's probably back up where the floor mandrels were. It's okay. If we haven't found all the Ether Currents, don't worry about it, like in the field, because we're going to be doing Ether Current quests next episode anyway, so we'll find them. It's fine.
See, my whole thing,
now. I'm gonna do that.
when it comes to the development impacted by the pandemic, is that a lot of my problems with Shadowbringers, I don't really get as much angry about. Because there are 2 things you need to understand about Shadowbringers. One, it was being created during the pandemic.
Oh,
and
look,
also...
I think. Unless that's just an NPC.
No, it's not an NPC. I already checked.
Okay, Katana Rabble's now accessible.
As I was saying.
Bareth is AFK. He's also on Dragoon, which would kind of wreck our plan of 2 DPSing. Sorry, guy with a big hammer.
So, my whole thing is that I don't really have an issue. Like, I can overlook a lot of issues with Shadowbringers. Because, A, it was being created during the pandemic. And also, now, Jimmy, you have a lot of issues with... Excuse me, I'm dying.
It's okay. Marie, if you're in the thing, it might be because you're on a different data center, actually, because you're on Midgard at the moment, so I don't know how long it would take you to get over to us.
Can we just form a crossworld party?
We could. We could form a cross-world party. Let me
Yeah.
do that. How about that, Marie? We'll form a cross-world party. How about that? So no, don't swap DCs. We'll just form a cross-world party. It's easier, so then you don't have to move. So, like, how long does it take to swap DCs? I guess is the question I have.
That depends if there's an S rank on Goblin right now.
Yeah, because I was gonna say. So I'll just make the cross-world party. It's fine. Recruit members.
Okay.
Duty roulette. I guess leveling. Objective. Duty completion. Katana Ravel with Marie. So it's in the comment. Don't have restrictions. Form a private party. Party password Marie. You should see this coming. It's 6969.
As God intended.
So there you go. Recruit members. Okay, so there you go. It's in the private one. So just check that out. Okay. And
So,
it should be easy to get.
as I was saying while we're waiting, is that Shadowbringers' development was of course impacted by the pandemic, and also the other thing is that, see, here's the thing, Jimmy.
Yeah.
The development team for 14 doesn't do crunch. You know that, right?
I know that.
So between the pandemic and crunch, that's part of the reason why Shadowbringers to me isn't probably as viscerally hated as you do, or
It's
as
not-
viscerally disappointing, because I know that there are outside factors that affected it, and I'd rather have the story be just the way it is. Sure, they could have done things better. They could have made different story decisions that would have made it make more sense, but between the reason why I don't get mad about the lack of Allied Beast tribe quests or the lack of side content and the fact that they seemingly just went story, raids, alliance raids, and were very straightforward, very bare bones with it, is that I would rather have the essentials than all the other BS, because frankly, I would rather have Shadowbringers just the way it is, and Endwalker just the way it is, and have 100 other expansions like it, if it means that there was no crunch time, because crunch is hell.
Oh yeah, and I wouldn't want them to crunch either. It's just, I would rather they just take more time to develop that stuff rather than just say, well, we've got deadlines. It's like, okay, listen, Square Enix says you have deadlines. You're the most profitable game that they have created in the past 10 years by a wide margin. You should be going to Square and saying, fuck you, give us more time on this shit. Because it has to be up to the quality standard that we've set so far. You don't see that party? Oh, because of the separate DC. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Sorry. So I guess they're going to have to swap anyway. Sorry. That's not good. To be 100% honest, how would they even make an Allied Beast Tribe quest? How do all these tribes come together? I mean, okay, so they had the Kojin, the Namazu, and the Ananta come together, and they're across, like... They're on other sides of the planet, so I feel like they could make this work. It doesn't take that long? Okay, then yeah, just swap up, and then I'll... Just let me know in chat once you're in our DC, and I'll just end recruitment on this one. And I'll just invite you to party once you're over here. Okay. Oh, did they pull from some bullshit storytelling for the Nanta and all them? Okay. See, I haven't done those quests yet. We're going to be doing them during the patch content, so I wasn't aware. So, do all these tribes have a common enemy outside of Sin Eaters? And I guess to be fair, isn't the one guy who was in the A Realm Reborn Allied Beast Tribe quests, isn't he like the recurring villain for the Allied quests? So unless he has like a first counterpart, it would be kind of hard to have him, do that. I'm going to disband the party real quick and then reband it. So that way it's not cross-world anymore. Because we don't need it to be cross-world. So,
Hey.
wake up. Okay, so it says Marie is on Goblin. It also says offline, but that's probably because of the transfer process. So I just gotta wait a minute.
I got so mad at the everything that happened in that cutscene, I decided it was a great idea just take my fucking ice cream out of there and just eat it.
Fair enough, actually. That's usually a good cure-all for frustrations. So, not encouraging eating from frustration, just ice cream is good, that's all. Also, Interceptor would like to see you. You should give him pet.
I will.
He's looking at you on my screen. Can't wait till you do the Stormblood Allied quest. You'll see why he isn't an option. I don't know, though, because didn't they, like, finagle Hildebrand into some bullshit? Like, we haven't done the Stormblood Hildebrand quest just yet, either. But they
Yeah.
finagled him into some bullshit to get him back in. Into Endwalker, if I recall correctly. So. Yeah, world is always full. Tell me something I don't know, menu. No, it's fine. It's fine. No big deal. Take your time. Well, the game's making you take your time, so it's alright. We'll get in. And we'll get it done. Oop, I got a Discord message. Oh, Cole's screenshot.
A gift from you. A piece of.
That's Majima giving me a watermelon, except it's Rory giving me the owl statuette.
What is it?
Should just post that in the Photoshop on the server. That's funny. On Goblin still don't. Oh, I actually, yeah, I undid the party so I could just invite you because it didn't need to be cross-world anymore because, well, it's not necessary for it to be cross-world, so. Yeah. Alright, Cole and I are on the classes we want to be, so just let me know when you're ready, Marie, and then we'll queue for Katana Rabble. So. And Cole, as for the Magic LB1, I'll let you know when to do it. If it's Marie tanking, it'll happen. If it's not Marie tanking, then I'll let you know. Alright, we're ready. Off we go to Katana Rabble. And now we just gotta wait for a healer, which might take a little bit, but yeah, we got 3 out of 4. Don't be sad, 3 out of 4 ain't bad. You wanna go find that other ether current that was in the field while we're waiting for this? Call, did you hear me?
Hmm?
Do you want to go find that other ether current that's in the field while we're waiting?
Sure, since the duty is inevitably going to fucking.
It's gonna take a little bit. It's 214 Southwest, so we might as well go look for it.
I'm tanking, I ain't no bitch. By the way, I'm rewatching the Boondocks, so I'm way more aggressive.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, look. What shock and awe. I have drawn the aggro of these floor mandrills. It's fine, I have 20% movement speed. They'll literally never catch me. See? Never punished. Stone throw dodge.
Calculated.
It was. I was like, nope, I can turn my back to them. It's fine. 65 to the northwest. Oh, I see it. It's over there. Okay. And then I just need to check, because I don't remember if we got it all the ether currents in the field at this point. I think there's still one missing, but I think it's over in, like, where we had the ethereal lamp and we were fishing for Ishtola's soul. So. We'll see in a sec.
Fetch me their souls.
Yeah, that.
You only have 700,000 gil?
In my inventory, yeah, I gave a lot of it to my retainers. 578 to the southwest. Yeah, that's probably down... Actually, it's probably on the way to Fano. I'm going to teleport to Fano because I don't feel like fucking with these floor mandrills. I know it's right there, but look at this closer.
Fucking floor mandrel!
And then I think it's this way to get out of the village.
It's directly south. 401 Yalms.
Okay. Yeah, so it's probably along the path, and I just glossed over it. No big deal.
La hit!
Yeah, we get to hear that more. We get to hear the soundtrack of this game telling me to wake up.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Ah, there we go. Okay, well, we'll find the last one later then. But for now, time for Katana Rebel. I realize now that in our haste, we didn't get to cook anything, so I guess I'm eating that baked Mega Piranha. Cole's eating whatever. You know, I'll just take some mineral water, it's fine.
How incredibly kind of them to provide food for us.
Yeah. Even though it's normal quality.
I'd rather something be mid than taste like shit.
I guess that's true. We'll cook something later just for the hell of it when we have more time. We're babysitting today, Marie.
Speak, please.
Alright, here we go. Get the play ninja against boss things. But remember, this is a temple, so there's obviously going to be some traps to deal with.
All I want to do is cast my fire.
Speaking of fire, you'll be seeing me using more fire this
Motherfucker!
time. Yeah, just between the lines, that's fine. See, you've even got a spot here now that I'm going to join you in, because you're in the correct place. But yeah, I have access to my new attacks now with my Mudras. There are 2 new ones, including the Ice Shuriken that we've seen me use previously. But there's also another one that I'll be showing off in group pulls, but there are no group pulls at the moment, so.
Be gone, thoughts!
I'm also
only
not
did
doing my
9,000
positionals
damage.
correctly, but that's okay. This dungeon's pretty chill, so I don't think I need to do them correctly for now. I'll do them when the bosses are up.
It's chill. For now.
Until the caves. Just get all these guys on the aggro marker. Thank you for the spear. Ooh, that one didn't hit anybody. Whoa. Alright, so we set up a Doton at Marie's feet. We Kasats. We do this, and big fire! Goka Mekyak! That's me. If I pull aggro, don't worry about it, I got Bloodbath. Look at how much HP I just got back. Uh-oh, I pulled aggro.
Yeah.
I'll kill as many as I can before I die. There. Never mind, don't kill. Use Scathe. Okay, now that actually will kill a couple of them, so. Never mind, they're gonna get a full restore. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh well.
Local black mage didn't do enough damage.
Local black mage has to click Lucid Dreaming. That's unfortunate.
Ah.
I don't know why he just did that. I'm gonna have to do that again in like 20 seconds or so. Where's our healer? I think our healer's back up there. Don't be afraid to nascent me, by the way, Marie. That'll also help out in this situation. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna hide while Marie does this, and then go do this.
Healer is not here.
Nope. Healer is behind you. By about, good question, feet. Alright. Here goes nothing again. I'm gonna need to actually do things here. Hold on. There we go. Set the Doton. Get Gokiamekiak. Gonna focus on one of them. Try to, anyway. Try to stand outside a little bit so you can hit me up if you need to nascent, because nascent will definitely help in this situation. Nascent is so good. And I think this is the first dungeon you get access to it as well, now that I think about it. So.
Meanwhile, Cole just standing a mile away.
I don't know if Nascent is as good now as it used to be, though. Like, it definitely gives you lifesteal. It's like a miniature bloodbath if it's the same as it was, so. Well, save that foul for the next boss monster that we're fighting. I always forget, though. Sometimes I, like, pull big in leveling dungeons, and I, like, my hubris eats me up then, because I forget the fact that leveling dungeons actually hurt more than, like, 50, 60, 70, 80 stuff.
I am a genius.
Yes. Just don't rock an abyss while I'm doing Tenchi Jin, please. God damn it. Rescue me. It's okay, I have second wind. probably should have gone where Marie was. That's okay. You really like putting that directly at my feet, don't you, Ronkin Dreamer? It's more of a Ronkin nightmare. Run, Cole, run. There you go, you made it.
Mustax!
Yeah, I know. Use that Umbral Soul. You have that now, so
Hi.
might as well use it.
Unsupposed.
Oh, that's what Astros get at this level, is horoscope. Yeah, I forgot.
Judge.
Who remembers how Lozado works?
I do.
I do. I'm probably still gonna get hit by it. I can't believe how large whatchamacallit is now. Earthly Star. It doesn't feel real. Oh, thank you for putting my positional directly here for me. I appreciate that.
Ow.
What, did you get hit by?
Think so.
Got hit by that. You're on the correct side of the screen, by the way. Because in a second, the left half is going to blow up. Hey. You guessed correctly. Now be prepared to use your triple cast stacks, because we're going to have to move a little bit. Okay, come to the left side. I don't have feint for this one. Sorry. I try to feint whenever I can, but it doesn't always work out. I have Mug for this part, though. I wonder if I should save it for after Scorn. Nah. Let's do it now. I know we're going to be moving, but... Okay, northwest
Hit.
corner.
Ow!
Put up your mana ward.
Oh my god, this stun lasts just long enough for me to lose my fucking stacks!
Use Umbral Soul.
Yeah.
Or, here's another idea. Do you have Ethereal Manipulation on your bar?
I do.
Okay, just teleport to me, because I'll always be in the right spot.
Well, cock you, Jimmy.
It's fine. It's warranted. I know what I'm doing. Sometimes.
Hey, Ken!
We're gonna save that LB, so it will come in handy. Alright, so this is the AoE. So left side. Same place as before, just teleport to me. Or just,
God, I love you.
Oh, you have
cast.
triple cast, never mind, yeah. Triple cast makes that a lot easier.
It's so fucking good!
And you know what? You didn't used to have 2 stacks of it. Now you have 2 stacks of it to work with. Isn't that nice?
Stop!
So I heard a rumor, by the way, about 14's AoEs and how bosses determine if they have who gets the AoE. I heard it's usually the person that's farthest away from the boss. So maybe stand a little closer. Or else you're just gonna have black mage things happening. I'm gonna greed on this. Hey. I don't even want that. I'm just gonna trade it in for seals. What the hell was that?
Abomination from beyond the veil of time and space.
Oh,
Speaking
never
of
mind. It was
abominations
just
from beyond the
bats.
veil of time and space.
It was just bats, it's fine. Okay, Cole, are you ready for that LB1? It's not yet, but I'll tell you. Don't do it for this part. We'll do it for the next pull. Hood swing. Gangster's Paradise. No, I wasn't in range. Okay, I was like, wait, why didn't my dream go off? Because Tetsuya Nomura didn't approve of it. Fuck you, I'm vulnerability upping you.
Hey, Ken!
Nice. Okay. Almost there. Well, whatever that was, it just blew up the wall, so that's, something. I'll get the coffer. Eddie will get the coffer. Never mind. Oh, look, something you can greet him.
Burn water. This thunder spell will be more effective.
Oh, if only. Alright, ready with that LB1? Not yet.
Oh!
Not yet, just make sure you've got your finger ready. Well, okay, good swing. I've drawn aggro. You come with me, Acrobat. Acrobat. Alright, wait for them all to clump up. And do it. No, don't do it. Do it now. Okay, they'll all end up in there anyway.
And 10! I did it.
Nice. That'll make this a little easier. On the healer. And on Marie, for that matter. We should be able to kill a decent-sized chunk of them before any problems arise. Yeah, there you go. Think. Nice and easy. You can do that in Holminster as well, by the way. On that one big pull after that bull breaks through the gate, you can do an LB1 there. So, I mentioned it back in Holminster, but the person that we were with didn't do it, so it's okay though. It's not necessary, it just makes it easier on your tank and your healer. I also rejigged my bars a little bit so that I could actually put my stun on it. I didn't have it on there before, so, you know.
Mustax.
I can agree on that too.
I should probably pass it out.
Oh, that's what was screeching. Bat Squatch! Da-na-na-na-na-na, Bat Squatch, Bat Squatch. Sorry, I just felt an overwhelming need.
A desire that supersedes all of creation.
Pretty much. That's the thing. The Sats. And Jin. Can't wait till I can make shadow clones out of this. Can't do that yet. Watch your surroundings, by the way. Not yet, but soon. Also, put up Mana Ward if you don't have it up yet.
And the ward, that's the button.
Because Subsonics is on the way. I like this AoE. It's more fun than most of the other AoEs. Because he just gets really fucking pissed off and starts stomping the ground like a 4-year-old having a tantrum. Over here. You should ethereal manip to me.
Be nice if I could click on you.
Yeah, it would. You can click on me in the party list. Wait for it.
Yeah.
Shikuchi.
Not me swift casting to keep my Enochian up.
No, I've done that. That's why Swiftcast is there. You don't have a res, so you don't need it for that. Why is Ninja so comfy for me?
I don't know. Simply is.
It's just one of those things. It just feels so like I know the rotation so back and forth at this point. I can basically do it in my sleep.
Oh!
Oh yeah, that's the fun part of that one. Actually, Adia, I
My
think
body.
you're in the right spot. Ethereal Manip to the healer. And then watch the other AoEs, like that one.
Stop!
I can feint this. There you go. And the nice thing is, by the time we get done with the actual boss of the area, we'll have the LB2, so don't have to worry about that anymore. So it's really worth it to use that LB1 because it just makes things easier on everybody. Mug is up. I'm gonna get hit. Ow. I'm gonna Tenchi Jin over here. This is a bad idea. Never mind. Never punished. Wait for it. Go. And that's why we have 2 stacks of Shikuchi. I say never punished as I was just hit in the head by a rock, but, you know. I'm selectively choosing to not remember that punishment. I have memory loss from the rock.
Oh, but you don't have memory loss involving trauma.
Nope.
Saw that coming from a mile away.
I mean, you know my character type at this point.
Get the joke character. Oh, our healer needs a moment.
Oh, okay. I will sit at the top of this waterfall. Or I won't, because there goes Marie. No, she's hanging out. Alright. This is nice. This is Raktika Falls, by the way, that they were mentioning back in the village, so... These are nice environs. I like them. I just wish we could come here when there weren't any Sin Eaters. Guess we'll have to go in Explorer mode. I don't even know if you can do Explorer mode in this one, honestly. I'd have to look.
Be Umbral Soul aggressing.
Umbral Soul on cooldown. GCD it. Isn't it nice, though? Lets you keep your stacks.
Correct.
I am out of water.
Here I thought that this fucking skill was useless the first time I read. I was wrong.
Oh no, it's really good. It's really good. If you mess up your rotation, you can just do it, and all of a sudden your rotation is back in order again. You just start from Blizzard phase after using it, and you're good to go. So, here comes the healer. I'm gonna Huton now. My leg. Oh, my leg didn't break this time.
My legs. Boom.
It's a good thing I'm not on Summoner. I would have just accidentally pulled aggro off of Marine. I'll get the coffer. Man, look at all this aiming stuff. Okay. Focus on treasure later, focus on murder now. Where's that Sin Speeder? Spitter, oh there it is. I sidestepped it at the very last moment. Alright, check this shit out, right? Watch this.
Hey, cat!
Fuck you, Echo of Catan. Oh, he doesn't stun. Never mind. I was trying to stun him, and then I stood in the self-destruct because I couldn't stun him. He had complete immunity. They don't usually do that in Shadowbringers, so that's kind of surprising. Oh, my button press didn't go off. Never mind, that's why. I was like, wait a minute. Something ain't right here. Kind of wish we had the LB1 for this one, too, because this pull kind of hits a little hard, but...
Funny bit.
Yeah, it's all good. Alright, stay here then, Marie, so I can move you. Alright, this time I got the Echo on my thing, so I can actually stun him properly. So we don't get blown up like we did previously. Look at all these Sin Spitters. These gorillas are the worst. They keep fucking, like, trying to spit out AoEs and shit. Oh, I see the problem. Let me do one of these again.
Oh my
Huton.
god, you're still moving!
At this point, my Huton is dead. I'm not gonna echo that guy.
Oh!
Did you get Sin Spit?
A little bit.
Trying to get rid of him. There we go. I got rid of one of them.
Be out here just trying to.
Oh,
try to
there's
press the button.
reinforcements that just spawned in.
Yep.
What do you think this is, Black Ops? Reinforcements, huh? Sorry, that was my best Lloyd Irving impression. It probably wasn't the best.
Hey, cat.
Goka Mekiak. I just love saying that. I don't know why. I guess it's the same reason I like saying all the, you know, Midare and all the other samurai skills. It just has a good ring to it, I guess. And with that, they're all dead. Congratulations, we have won. Now to kill the Light Warden. I was going to say Sin Eater, but no, that's... I mean, he technically is, but they're all Sin Eaters, so... Oh, look, an axe for you, Marie. I've already got that earring, so pass on that. Cole greed the earring. Okay, that's fine. Long as somebody...
Because of this cutscene, all of my Enochian stacks will be gone.
You can Umbral Soul. That's okay. Or Swift Cast Blizzard 3 at the beginning of a of the pole. That's what I do.
Oh God.
That is one ugly monkey Cerberus. My Mudras are up. I'm good to go. You ready to swift cast Blizzard 3 or just Umbral Soul?
Let's get this bread.
Time for bread. Let's hope there's bread this guy can be made of. Kind of disgusting bread, actually, so maybe not. I hope that doesn't break my... It did break mine, goddammit. I should have just done the Raiton. Oh well. Run, whomever that's on. Yep, so if you don't
Excuse
run...
me, I appear to have stopped giving a shit. Standing perfectly still.
So if you don't run from that one, you get rocked and get a bone stack, so that's not fun.
I wanna rock!
Significantly worse rock than that. Fight for poison. Stop running. So now he will inhale, and then exhale. Deep breaths. This one's not too bad. I like to arm's length the next one because he puts a puddle in the middle of the arena, so then it's a little more annoying to get around. I can't, whatchamacallit this one. So I guess Marie's got the nuts out now, so it's fine in terms of cooldowns. So I guess I don't need to feint that one. Confession of Faith in the middle. My melee range. And if you weren't in the middle, you'd have gotten hit by all that lightning, so, you know, maybe stay in the middle. Call run. Use triple cast.
Shit.
I hate this Shikuchi macro because I have it so that it hits whatever target I'm aiming at, but it seems to have, like, weird range where it just doesn't hit sometimes. So, Marie knows the mechanic. Nice. She put the puddle on the outside, so we don't have to arm's length this one. If you don't want to. Like this. Mugs up. I can do this time without breaking my my mudras by fainting. You can break your mudras by fainting, by the way, in case anybody didn't know. I better run. It's like, here, have a frog. It will soften the blow. Oh, I can say that. Confession of Faith.
Oh,
outside.
shit.
Outside. Finish my combo. Oh, I was wondering why I couldn't move. It's because I'm at the edge of the arena. Have a blade dance, friend. Do that before I get back into my trick attack window. Because the damage is not increased by trick attack. So, you know, probably worth it to do it when trick attack's not up. Run healer. Have some ice shuriken, friend. There, got him.
I did not break Enochian once that boss fight. I'm proud of myself.
Cole was in the zone against this Cerberus.
I alone have mastered the art of magic. Begone,
And now,
thought.
and now he is a hound in hell. Good job, team. I am not sad by this. Stop doing this to me, Shadowbringers.
You know why my character's sad? The
Why?
gorillas.
Oh.
The gorillas hurt my soul.
Yeah, that's fair, actually. Give this healer some commands. Another aiming bracelet. Oh my god. Alright, we outie.
Up.
Now for cutscene. Then we go back to a village once they send me
At the
to the
Heavenly
village
Doggo
with
and
the
death.
thing.
The healer commended me. Why me?
Because you're also Patat. Probably. Maybe. I mean, they gave me 60 million cards, so I guess it's only fair that they commend you. Alright, time to absorb this ether again. Ishtola's not going to be happy about it, but, you know. I didn't think you played that bad, Marie. Give yourself a little credit. You did all the big pulls, and it worked out, so. We all did good. That's the important part. Good lord, the textures on that mask. Really feeling the fact that it's a Rome Reborn at this point, the mask.
I blew up the Cerberus.
You did. And I ate its soul. This is the most appropriate time to use the "I swallowed your soul" meme. Because it's actually true.
You're so...
Healer targeted a monster with their macro and wanted Square Enix to fix that. That was user error. I'm sorry.
The Light Warden is dead.
Oh, good. I didn't get to shoot the satellite beam again. If Square Enix officially killed my satellite beam.
Aye, that they have.
Upside, we gave the night sky back to the blessed.
That's true. I just wish I did it with a satellite beam, rather than not at all.
His condition yet troubleth thee.
Well, it troubled her when I only had Titania's ether in me,
It
so
does.
of course it does.
Though he shows no immediate signs of corruption, the danger remains. He must be told.
Trust me, Ishtola, I already know. I'm filing a grievance with Square Enix about it as we speak. I'll hear from their lawyers momentarily, and the message will read, ha 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 ha. Because they're laughing at me. Because it's not admissible in court.
Ha. Ha.
Because they're laughing at me. It's not admissible in
Describe
court.
it to me, Urianger. Paint for me a picture with your words.
So, okay, so this is a scene that was written by the person who remembered that Ishtola was blind. And again, I think the person that wrote these scenes where they remembered that she is in fact blind does a good job, because they often have her doing stuff like this, where she says, you know, I can't see. Can you tell me what it looks like? And Urianger paints her a beautiful picture in her mind of what the sky looks like.
Urianger is the best fucking character of this expansion. I don't give a shit. I love him.
Like,
he only gets better in Endwalker.
Like, we can agree on that. Urianger is the best character in this X-Pack, and the reason is because he basically got nothing before this, so it's like a dry desert for him and for us.
Listen, Endwalker?
Tis an exquisite sight,
I can't wait
not unlike that of the source.
for Marie to get to that part. Delicious.
Gentle.
Delicious Urianger character development.
Delicious salty tears.
I can see it.
In my mind. Again, whoever wrote this scene did a good job.
Or wide the expanse, there is no shore so distant as to be beyond the reach of light. Ominous though that may sound, given our present travails.
Yeah, but this light isn't as radioactive, or at the very least it might be, because stars could be radioactive, but it's not an immediate danger to us. So, well, this light is fine. I don't know what the hell that was supposed to be, but sure. Okay. Thancred crying over there. I want her to do that to me. Her and Minfilia, both of them touching the opposite sides of the small of my back. What I wouldn't give. And by Minfilia, I of course mean a Rome Reborn Minfilia, not this Minfilia. That's just disgusting. Hey, more murals.
The murals. If I am not mistaken, they predate the Empire.
How do you know that? Do they have an etheric signature from before the Empire? Hey, Lifeblood, how's it going? Welcome back. We still live, yes. We're live for a little longer today because we wanted to get through a dungeon, and there's a bit of cutscene after the dungeon, so... Oh, good, they're going to tell me if she can see the ether in them.
A peculiarity of the paint. Most are made from mineral-based pigments. But whatever was used here is older than anything I have ever seen.
Okay, so they faded to black. This isn't even the end of the cutscene. They faded to black, and all of a sudden the person who didn't remember that Y'shtola is blind is writing again. because
According
she
to
can't
Alma,
see anything.
This sanctuary was built to preserve the wisdom of
Can't
the
say.
ancients. What events do these murals commemorate, I wonder?
Well, there's one light thing and one dark thing, and they're kind of large and in charge in the picture, so...
Must you always linger after defeating your enemies? Navigating these halls on foot is exhausting.
Yeah, but the knight's back. You could have just teleported to us. You can do that.
Want to
You're an
lead us
Elder
to
Asian.
safety, have you? I was bored. But how is the hero of the hour?
A bit of a stomach ache from absorbing more light ether, but other than that, I'm okay. Square
We
Enix
really
won't
share
let
some
me.
of that shit.
I'd like to, but none of you can handle the ether. I've seen your etheric signatures. You're not capable. Probably because you're all separated from your actual bodies.
Keep up the good work.
But yeah, Square Enix won't let me shoot the satellite beam anymore, so I can't get rid of it.
You're plotting something.
They always are, Ishtola.
Every hour of every day.
Mm-hmm.
But never you mind about that. As I have told you 1,000 times before, I like to watch. Nothing more.
And how's that working out for you?
Well, I would quit this place, and I suggest you do the same. There is yet work to be done.
You need to correct yourself. Your favorite version of Never to Return is the Nightwings version. Yeah, you know, actually, that's fair. I guess what I guess that, I mean, that's probably most people's favorite version, but I guess what I figured you meant was which one besides the final boss one, you know? So, because that one is really fucking good, so. Well, Emmett, they painted us a picture, so.
There is a sight to bring a tear to the eye.
And why's that?
You recognize these scenes?
He is older than everybody here put together.
That I do. Indeed, there was a time when anyone and everyone would.
Because it was all the world you knew.
One calamitous day when the world was divided across 10 and 3 reflections, sundering the land and all who dwelled upon it.
Yeah, that was
And
the original
worst part,
Sundering.
no one could remember it. Not really. Just fragments and fleeting memories of an achingly familiar world.
Well, you can blame the Sundering for that. I imagine people's memories probably weren't too well intact after all of that happened.
A vision shared of a paradise lost, preserved only in song and scripture and paint.
Never to Return is amazing. You love it. Yeah, it is really good, so. Still wrong because you re-listen to all of them. Do not favor the Chastity, you favor the Tempers. Okay. And the Tempers one is really good as well, so I'm kind of... I mean, really all of them are good, but yeah, it's tough for me to pick a favorite outside of just the true Nightwings version, so... I'd probably say the Withdrawn still.
Yet here we find ourselves again. To look, learn, and remember.
Our Mother Crystal says hear, feel, and think, but okay. You
And
do you.
share with us the stories you know so well. We are listening.
Before the Great Sundering, there was one world. A world that knew naught but peace and prosperity.
Uh-huh. Is that why it's on fire?
Until it was faced with a crisis. Unprecedented. Terrifying.
Bullshit!
Civilization found itself perched upon a precipice, staring into oblivion.
That last part's not bullshit. The first part, bullshit. I'll tell you why
Through
later.
prayer and sacrifice, the will of the star was made manifest.
And the will of the star for you is this dark figure?
Zodiac was his name, and by his grace was the calamity averted.
I don't know about that one, Emmett. I don't know that that's the will of the star. I'm pretty sure I've seen the will of the star, and it's not Zodiac. Like, the Mother Crystal is the planet's crystal, so, like, what are you talking about? Raiden screaming, what are you talking about?
One would have thought. Yet some thought otherwise.
Yeah, I could see that.
From the
why
fears
the light
of
figure
these
is there.
naysayers would rise Heidelin. She who was to serve as his shackles. To bind him and hold him in check.
So this is where the story gets kind of confused, as if it wasn't already confused enough in Raktika, because it starts referring to this light figure over here as Hydaelyn, which is the same name as the planet. I still don't... I think in Endwalker they resolve this and they tell you whether or not they're the same entity or two different things, but for our purposes, in our canon, they're two separate entities. So, I'm hijacking the canon starting right now.
They fought,
So,
and in
there
the
you go.
end, Hydaelyn was victorious.
To look, learn, and remember, not live, die, and know? Yeah, I guess not. We're over 50% of the story. Why is the B-plot only getting introduced now? Because this is when they had the murals to show this stuff. They didn't have them in the other areas. Another thing, on your True Nightwing run, you got a prediction. The Essence would have Liberation right. You tried to stop it, so you decided to lose on purpose of the Chastity. Turned out you did not need to cause Withdrawn one against them and would have faced you in Liberation, so your first ever loss was a waste. Okay. I mean, that'll happen. Sometimes you try to game the system in Pyre, and sometimes it just doesn't have to happen. It's cool when you do manage to game the system, but sometimes the game sort of says, nah, I'm just going to do my own thing. So.
With all her strength, she smote him, dealing a blow so...
You know, knowing things I know from Endwalker, and going back to this scene, I can't help but remember the scene that plays out in Endwalker that is related to this, and, Jesus Christ.
That concludes today's lesson on long-forgotten history. Though I imagine your mother would offer a rather contradictory account, as is her wont.
That's because she's the planet, dude, so of course she has her own account of it, and it predates yours, so, you know. She was here before you guys even managed to summon Zodiark.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you lost to the Chastity? Never mind, that is a shame. Holy shit. Never lose to Manly, he's such a dickhead. It could have been to the True Nightwings, but no, yeah, I know. That does suck. I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know that it was the Chastity.
Is that what you thought these paintings depicted? Or... Oh.
I feel like he just elucidated something that I'm not paying enough attention to know.
Gods after a fashion.
Hey, this scene, after here, this is where Emmett starts to go down the path of being a pretty good character.
For you, yeah.
Like this is like the first sign. This is the first hint of depth from him.
Okay.
The eldest.
No, it's the Chastity on purpose. I hate it. Oh man, yeah.
Of primals.
Yeah, but so what they're saying, and we already knew this of Zodiark. What they're saying about Hydaelyn specifically now is that she is also an elder primal.
Yet you have not explained the role of the Ascians in all of this. How is it you are privy to ancient secrets lost to time?
What the fuck do you mean, Y'shtola? They're elder Ascians. They were tempered by Zodiark, which means they had to have been around when Zodiark was around. And if Zodiark was killed, that means they had to have been around before that, or it couldn't have tempered. Can we just write Y'shtola out of the story at this point, please?
Finally.
She's not herself anymore.
Ask the right question. And shrewd questions warrant honest answers.
Okay, so enlighten me. I already know the answer, but enlighten me.
We Ascians know because it is our history, our story.
Was this ever in question or doubt before this? Because I feel like this was common knowledge before this, because like it's like, okay, well, yeah, they're tempered by Zodiark, so they had to have been around when Zodiark was around.
It was we who summoned Zodiark. We natives of that sundered paradise.
And this right here, this small little piece of dialogue.
Now, do you
this is where it starts.
The great rejoining?
Nope, still don't see it. I still think you need to die in a fire. Because, if anything, you're just trying to overextend yourself.
For all
You know,
creation to be made whole again.
I'm gonna have a lot more thoughts on this later, but goddamn,
No,
I
Emmett,
have thoughts about this.
actually, I'd rather die and let the new world find its own way. Because if I'm trying to create the old world again, it will inevitably fail or have something really, really awful happen to it. So I'd rather just die, actually. I don't know why you're not there yet. You must not be at that point in your immortal life where you just want to die. Bye.
Oh boy, do I have thoughts about Emmett Selk. And the struggle of the Asians. Do I have thoughts about that?
Well, we'll get to know a little bit more about their struggles much later. So.
Unfortunately, we're half an hour over, so I will not have time to talk about them tonight.
Yeah. Well, you'll have time to talk about it when we actually get to that point, because we're going to be doing just the last quest of this X-Pack in one stream. So you'll have time to talk about it on like the stream before that, basically.
Yup.
I mean, he has no reason to lie to us, to be fair. So we'll get to know more about what Emmett says after we bear with it and go back to this mess that Ishtola has made when it all went wrong. Excuse me. Oh, Alphanode and the others are coming around? Okay. Fair enough.
We're gonna close out soon, by the way.
Yeah, I just wanted to go back to Fano, so we're in a sanctuary before we close out, so... Because otherwise we'd have to trek all the way back out here. So... Alright. So, they want us back in Fano. I'm a little tired from having not had water for the past 30 minutes and also having gone through Katana Ravel, though, so we'll talk to them and get back to the Crystarium so we can do more side quests on the next episode of Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, the stream edition, which will be happening on Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know, maybe it's just the, whatchamacallit, maybe it's just all the plants around here that are making me all sniffly. Yes, that must be
all the pollen.
All the pollen. Stream crashed? I'm ending the stream, that's all, Lifeblood. So, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream. I will see all of you on the next one, which, as I said, will be on Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll probably be less than 3 hours this time, I think. We'll find out. Until then, everybody, take care, and have a good one.
Bye.